Oh wait, we still. Yeah, you keep trying to figure out technology.
No, we're good now.
No, it's
We
good.
got this figured out. We got this figured out. We are
Find
live.
out. Try to find
Are
out
we?
how all the electrodes spin at the gigajoules, and
The
we'll,
fuck
we'll
is a
finally get
Are
it.
you gonna
gigajoule?
show me your
It's
gigajoules?
like a teraflop.
Are you gonna
but,
show me
like,
your
a third of the
You're gonna show me your
quantum spin?
gigajoules. What about your gigajoules? I want to see your gigajoules. You actually have
Well,
those
you
or
know
what?
what? If I had have more than you can handle, I guarantee it.
I don't know
We gotta
about that,
ease
man.
into
I'm
this.
a fat guy, dude. I'm a fat
I'll show.
guy.
What I'll do is I'll take a picture of my gigajoules, right? And then instead of just giving you the picture, what I'll do is I'll get a custom 500-piece puzzle of the gigajoules, and then you can assemble it so that it doesn't hit you all at once. You slowly but surely come to the realization of, holy shit, this is Rag's gigajoules. I can see why there's 500 pieces. And these are not small pieces.
I'm fucking lost.
So
I know, and the cover will not have a picture of the puzzle because that would obviously defeat
I'm pretty
the
sure.
purpose.
I'm pretty much like I'm at a point right now where I would think gigajoules was something of a measurement of someone's private parts in the physics realm.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Well, you know what they said about the man who thought.
So, I have a question for Rags. Are you gonna watch the Nintendo Switch press conference, and what do you think about it?
I'm sorry, the Nintendo what?
Switch?
The Switch?
Yes, the new Nintendo console.
Is
the
that some
Switch.
sort of like an
It's
alternator for a car? Or?
it is a console designed for transgenders.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a transgender console.
It's your future main gaming platform, Rags. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, does it have the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild?
They say it will, but maybe not
They
for a
say
couple
it
of
will.
years.
It's like they say it might.
It
The
maybe
Nintendo Switch
it
might
it
have
might be in the
Legend of
future of
Zelda.
Nintendo's, probably not. Of Q3 of next year.
Look, here's what I don't Here's what I don't understand about it. Now, I'm no marketing expert. I'm just some asshole clown on the internet. But what I want to know is why they have so much. Nintendo has so much riding on the Switch to be successful. Why are they not getting all their big guns out? They've had so many years to prepare. They've known the Wii U has been a bomb for so many years. Why do they not have Metroid coming out? How come they don't have Star Fox in the line out? Another Super Smash Brothers, especially to like a new one. Why don't they have the Zelda coming out day one? How come they haven't? It's like they haven't prepared. It's like 3 weeks ago. They're like, oh shit, get the games. And it's what it feels like.
Where did Rags
Get
go?
the
Like,
pitchforks, people.
Where is Pikmin 4 or whatever number they're on? Where is a new Advanced Wars or something? Come on, why are we not getting hit with all these super cool announcements for all these games coming out that people love? We're gonna have these games coming out the first 3 months.
You
Then we're gonna
are.
have these games
Hey,
bro, if
quit
I
being
didn't-
triggered. That's all coming. That's all coming tomorrow, man.
Oh, okay.
If I didn't know
Have
any better, Metrox just took Rags' place.
The way I look at it is, at least it's not canceled.
Not yet.
yeah, right now at least they haven't officially canceled it.
Hey, you know what? They're working on it, okay? Give
That
them
might
time.
be the announcement.
Reggie, all Reggie's gonna do is dance
We
in
are
the
ready
office.
to officially announce the cancellation of this game.
Well, no, they're gonna they would wait. They're gonna be like Microsoft and wait till after like the big initial buying season and then cancel it.
That makes sense.
Because I mean that's the way to do it. Make sure they get the sales and then we'll cancel. Because like, hey, now that you got the box, you might as well buy like the one game a year we have.
Why not? Right? It works. It helps.
Mario Paint 16.
No, I believe they're on 13 circuit, right?
Oh, okay, sorry. I lose count. I mean, that's like my
Hey,
favorite.
you know
game.
what? I heard the Switch was gonna be able to bounce between 2 and 6 teraflops.
Not
Oh,
only
shit.
that, it's 4K capable, is what I heard.
4KK? Is that what you
What
said?
happens to the teraflops when it's not docked though?
No, it becomes a gigajoule.
They're there. They're
there. They just can't. I mean, it's like putting like a monster truck engine into a Miata. I mean, it could be there, but I mean, there's only so much you could really do with it. Like this is just not. I mean, it's just
Not
not living up to its full
teraflops, guys.
potential.
We need more teraflops.
Ah, my God, these people.
What happened? What happened, Rambo?
Oh, Kid's moving his inability to understand what DX12 is.
He realizes that like consoles are gonna benefit from that, right? Like a lot.
Well, yeah, but no, he's saying that it's well. He said
Well, a
it's
lot, I
there.
mean.
He said it's there and it's being used and utilized. And the reason why DX12, he's telling Titanfall Princess the reason why the DX12 is there and what it's for. He's like challenging her, like, do you even know what it's for? It's for porting games easier. And I'm like, no, it's not. But I mean, it doesn't have anything to do. It doesn't make it easier to port because it has DX12. Just means that it's going to utilize less of your actual hardware, make the utilization more, efficient. Supposed to,
Right.
but doesn't always work that way. But yeah, somehow I don't know. Just like he's sitting there having an argument back and forth with Titanfall, and neither one of them understand what DX12 actually is.
Yeah, I imagine a conversation with Titanfall Princess and Kid Smooth would be like watching two retards try to hump a brass doorknob better than the other one. I don't think much we get accomplished. I like Kid Smooth though.
Oh,
He's
man.
I like him, but sometimes he says dumb shit.
Oh, he like all the time.
Called it really. It's kind of
Hey,
like a
have you
constant
guys got
stream.
your Master Race honorary membership to Club Penguin yet? I'm just wondering.
I haven't yet.
I haven't yet.
Really?
I've been working on it. I'm working on an actual sponsorship from them.
Is
Club
it,
Penguin, yeah.
I hope it's a 10% referral code. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think so. Just use code Rainbow.
Code Rainbow.
Rainbow or Rambo?
Rainbow, because
If
like
everyone-
it's rainbow, but it's rainbow. You know, that.
Rainbow. If everybody goes to Club Penguin right now at www.clubpenguin.com/chastity cage, you will get 15% off of a new membership. Then the commissions of which go to me for all microtransactions purchased.
Because of our buddy Gamer Dragon, penguins kind of trigger me, so I'm not playing that game.
Penguins.
Do you know what happens to penguins?
Oh.
Yeah, they get eaten by seals and raped.
And I know. It's horrible.
What the
I can never watch Happy Feet again.
I couldn't because it's a shit movie. But if that's why you can't, then fair enough.
Or the penguins from Madagascar, or forever just.
That movie was so it was when that movie came out, obviously, and my little sisters were extra younger, and when I was watching it and they were next to me, I was like, this is really oddly like cringeworthy suggestive in a lot of places, and I don't feel comfortable watching this next to my sisters. It was really weird.
Did you feel you needed an adult?
No, I felt like I needed nobody. I didn't want anybody around me.
You're like, I need a
Leave
shower.
alone.
I need to bathe
Understand.
myself. I need to wash my guilt off my skin.
Like, imagine a movie that's so lackluster it makes you want to watch Shark Tale. That's Happy Feet.
Oh, God.
Hey, Shark Tale wasn't that bad.
Jesus.
Shark Tale was it's like my movie of the year.
Rambo
What?
has 4 copies on ultra high def Blu-rays.
Yeah, I have the VHS, the DVD, the Blu-ray, now the 4K. I'm collecting them.
Now you dingus.
Now, do you have the ultra rare VHS that is 4K printed?
Oh, not yet. I'm working on that one. That one's kind of expensive right now.
Right?
I'm waiting for the price to drop.
Remember, you have to get 1 disc per PlayStation. So, keep that in mind.
Oh boy.
Yeah, boy.
I have a new morning routine now. When I wake up and I get my coffee and I come to my computer, I would normally check my email.
What's your
but
computer?
I come to my computer. I come and sit down.
Really? Once you wake up?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
so now,
Like no prep or
entertain-
anything.
For entertainment purposes, I look at Rambo's Twitter feed. That shit is entertaining all day long. You guys should give it a try. He battles retards like all day.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
He has to do it sometimes. It's kind of funny. You guys ever watch those gifs where they have like the little light sticks and they're like doing dance techno songs? Well, he does that with like airliner guides, pitons. That's his thing. See, that's what he uses to fight.
Tweets and replies.
It's pretty bad. He literally has to guide them into intelligence, and they miss it somehow. Still, Rags. That's a sickness. I mean, how do we cure that? I mean,
I'm sorry. I was say that one more time.
I don't know. What is
Okay.
that?
Well,
Touch
let
his
me.
penis.
No, I was looking at something.
Your penis.
Let me see. Come check it. No, I don't have to look at it. I know where it is. Can check out. Skill button. Oh, I didn't trophy hunt at all last gen. Sadly, it's such a shame that Rambo said, "Nice, I didn't trophy hunt at all last gen." Sadly, that's a shame.
That was Lord. That was just recently. That was just like the recent conversation. Lord.
That was 7
If-
minutes ago.
Yeah.
If there was a superhero that fought retardation on the internet, I think it would be Rambo.
I try, man. I really do. Because that it comes across my like Twitter feed, like, and then I'm just sitting. I start trying to play a game, and my mind just starts going, wait a minute, like that dude's a fucking idiot. Like I gotta say something. Like I gotta help the guy. And then it just delves into like 17 more idiots jump in, and I'm like, shit, I can't handle this much stupidity at one time.
They fucking run in packs like wolves. It's
They
fun.
do. They're scary.
They're-
Like I'm scared.
they're
You
only a
can't
little
stay in a
scary.
conversation too long with them, because if you do, you're scared you're going to be overran, and then you'll become stupid.
It's like you need a timer with some of these people, and every 5-10 minutes the timer goes off, ding ding ding, and then you have to talk about a different console.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah,
Like,
because
okay,
like
we're moving on to the GameCube, guys, and
I'm
tick, 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 tick,
I'm not
tick, tick,
allowed
tick,
to
tick,
like one of them
tick,
like
ding.
not
Oh, we
today,
gotta talk about the Switch now.
one of them today not today, I think it was the other day or whatever, but tried to tell me like that I if you look at my Twitter feed, I talk more about Xbox than I do about PlayStation. I'm like, I didn't know I had to like have a certain number of like even tweets between them. I didn't know that like there was some sort of requirement.
Well, and you can't split the week in half because weeks have odd number days, which means you won't be fair to one of the other sides. So you have to alternate, and you can't skip.
Yeah, I mean it's weird.
There's discussion in the gaming community though whether or not Saturdays and Sundays count as extra heavy days because they are the weekends. But I'll let them sort that out, and we'll get back to them later. I wouldn't want to be unfair.
So Maximus wants us to talk about Scalebound's canceled.
Yeah, that's one of the things
Scalebound was
that,
canceled because it's good for gamers.
Yeah,
So you should be
it's
happy.
good for gamers. Like that's a good thing.
Lord Phil knows what's best.
Well, yeah, that's what I. There was a tweet that came out like
Phil Matrick?
somebody replied to Phil Spencer. He said Phil Spencer said, difficult decision. We believe result is better for Xbox gamers. Still disappointing. I'm confident in 17 lineup. That's our focus. And the guy replied, give us a legit reason, and people would be more understanding. And then that's basically the gist of what I was trying to say. But at the end of his thing, he says, but you come across as an arrogant individual. And I said, I tweeted out that picture. And I said, I respect this guy here. He makes a completely valid point to Phil, which he does. Like, give us more of a reason about how is this better for Xbox gamers? How is it better at all? Like, what?
Yeah.
What makes this
what
better?
mental gymnastics do you have to perform on your little brain trapeze there to where canceling a game a lot of people were looking forward to on two different systems because, Xbox exclusives are a thing of the past. Why that's good for gamers.
And of course, kids move. And then there's also this guy named Mike Tick. He's part of the Tick podcast and Tick writing crew, which is part of the Xbox
Like Deer
camp.
Tick?
TICC,
Like
or
Rocky
whatever.
Mounted Spotted Fever.
Just a bunch of sheeple.
Yeah, basically. But he was like, kids move. His first reply to me was, he has a point by calling him arrogant. Really? I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you focus on that? Like, focus on the actual message
Focus on
of the damn
game getting
tweet.
canceled. Focus on the fact that they ended a game, and from the footage that we've seen, it looked really done. It really looked sort of finished.
It looked
Right?
like they had frame rate issues, but it seemed like that.
But
that's
it's
all
on
they really had to
Xbox,
work
come
at.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you expect that. So it looked real, unless those were just a couple levels that they just decided to finish and not work on anything else, which would be weird. But it really looked sort of done. But I can imagine if you're an Xbot and you got this news, and then Phil Spencer had the fucking gall to say to your face, "This is good for gamers that we canceled this game." I mean, shit. Imagine what you'd have to be thinking. How am I going to spin this? How am I going to say, "Well, I will"? It's good because my internet went out.
Whee!
Well, I mean, I did some research on like because Dryer Smith wrote an article after this immediately. He jumped on I got to defend it, man. I got to make sure that Phil looks good. And his article was Xbox. No, Phil.
That's
Well, Phil Metric, yeah, basically.
I
I didn't understand what you said at first, but
don't
he said that Xbox does better at releasing games than the competition or whatever.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Does better at releasing games.
I don't apparently because they always talk about like PlayStation games being
Like what,
delayed.
the weather's better on the day that they release. I don't understand.
But I mean, I guess if you're comparing a delay versus a cancellation, I would take the delay. Personally, myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go back to E3 2014, whenever
Like, do you want to get a blowjob tomorrow or never?
when Scalebound was announced, there was Fable Legends also announced there. There was Phantom Dust. It was going to be a reimagining of Phantom Dust.
Fable Legends has truly become its namesake.
And then Crackdown 3 also announced at this E3 2014. There was a total of 12 games exclusive or timed exclusive at the time announced, and 4 of them, 3 canceled and 1 is still the only thing we've ever seen is
It's in limbo.
in-house tech demo with Crackdown 3. I mean, we have not seen any gameplay whatsoever of this game, and it's supposed to come out sometime this year.
We have a viewer that wants in to talk about this, Brim, if it's okay with you.
Which
No,
viewer
fuck
is it?
him.
Jay Sentries.
Yeah, come on,
Oh dear God!
bring him in.
Here we go with the
Move that bus.
that Phil said.
Here, well, good game.
Where's he at?
Commander in the chat actually
Trying.
brought up something good. He said seriously, they canceled this after Fable Legends. It feels like they really hate anything that isn't a shooter. And I've heard that before these last
It
couple of days.
does.
I've heard that there's not enough variety on the Xbox now.
There's really
There's
not.
like-
Whenever it
and-
comes
and it's
to
People
exclusives,
just
there's
aren't
not.
playing- yeah, people are just playing shooters. And some action games. It's like third person, first person. Look, I don't get. I really don't understand why people make such a huge difference between third and first person shooters.
Right.
They're basically the same. You can just stare at the back of your ugly face in one.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
One gives you a reason to care about what your character's wearing.
Another thing I don't understand is like how like somebody was like saying, well, they're gonna bring titles, to E3. I was like,
No,
yeah, but that's
fucking
still.
Community is trash.
I was like, that's still like talking like 2 or 3 years away once they show a new title at E3 that nobody's ever heard of.
Jay is an Xbot through and through, so.
But I was like, when it comes to that, I was like, but what gives me faith that it's actually going to be anything?
Did
I mean,
you? All right. My bad for interrupting you, but do you know almost every fucking 2014 completely scrapped or has been a flop?
that's what I just
So what does
said.
that tell you about Microsoft right now?
It's not
And the
looking
fact
good.
that they scrapped a game that pretty much looked finished from last year's fucking was fucking retarded.
It doesn't look
They
good for
should've just
Microsoft
gave
at
the-
all.
Guys,
They
guys.
should have gave the fucking devs another year. Like, this shit was stupid, and then people are defending them like they're fucking the holy goddamn Jesus or some shit.
I'm kind of shocked that you're not.
Okay, before if we continue, hold on. Jay, your mic is cutting out horrendously.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Kinda.
Good enough.
Kinda.
I think it's funny if you go to Google and you type in upcoming Xbox games. 2 of the 6 titles that they show have PlayStation 4 logos on them. But
Well, it makes me wonder if Crackdown 3 is going to be canceled.
I think it is because
But
there's
I think they will.
been no
because
gameplay shown.
There's nothing been shown for that game, and it's supposed to come out this year, just like Scalebound was.
Yep.
Scalebound was supposed to come out in spring of this year.
I think that's going to be it.
So, like,
I
you
think
haven't
that's
shown
going to be
anything for
their.
Crackdown,
But
so
the
that makes me
games,
wonder if Crackdown
the
comes.
games on the list here that they show, only one of them seems to be a Microsoft exclusive. They have RE7, that's the multiplat. For Honor's multiplat. Sniper Elite, Forest multiplat. Ghost Recon Wildlands multiplat, and Andromeda's multiplat. They do have Halo Wars 2 though for the 17 people who said, you know what, they should make another one of these. So they
I'm one of the people that said they should make another one of them because I liked the first one.
yeah, it was pretty trash, wasn't it?
But
So,
I'm
we've
an
got-
RCS fan.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, if I was invested in it, it's gonna be tough. It might be really, really tough for him this next year going forward.
The question I have
It's gonna be
is,
tough because this is the same year that fucking their quote unquote fucking shit comes out. What's it
oh,
called?
the Scorpio. Yeah.
Yeah, and why the like? What do you have to show for that? Because the only reason I would even buy the Scorpio would have been for Scalebound, but now I'd rather just buy the Switch. And
Well,
all
yeah,
that.
because I mean
Just go
The
full
Scorp-
PC.
the Scorpio doesn't. There's nothing that would sell the Scorpio.
Right,
At
so
all.
Your tweet, like now, look at my tweet.
Huh?
Someone said, look at my tweet.
Oh.
I don't
Your tweeter.
look at my tweet.
I'm looking at it.
Maximus, you might have to be more specific because I have like, gosh, how many tweets do I have? I have 5,428.
It's one of those, right?
And Phil does need to get a more legitimate reason about Scalebound than just like we needed to cancel it. There needs to be more.
Well, the
Then
guy underwent some fucking mental trauma. That's a pretty big reason for why.
Yeah, but he came out on his Twitter and said that that's a lie. Like Microsoft blatantly lied about.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? They did?
Microsoft doesn't
yeah.
lie.
Yeah, he came out and said, he said
that
I
was
took
a lie.
he said I took time off for mental issues. He said something like who, me, like that ain't true or what, something, I don't know. He came out and like spoke up about it.
Yeah, because IGN did a report on it saying that supposedly, according to him, someone's lying on that aspect. He never left for mental issues. Like he's actually legitimately pissed off that this game got canceled.
Yeah,
I'd be
about it all day today.
be pissed off.
he said he actually also said, I thought I would get a lot of savage messages, but in reality I'm getting a lot of warm messages. Thank you. I guess because people were attacking, like the Xbox community is attacking him, blaming him for this when they don't even know shit about what's happening, but it's
We don't know
automatically the
who
devs'
did it.
fault.
Okay, so you remember?
That's no.
Okay, so but you remember last episode we talked a little bit about this.
I don't remember last episode, and I was here.
Was
Yeah,
it last episode or whatever? It was. Anyways,
It was
so we were talking about this before. I don't think it was about the cancellation, but it was about Scalebound in general. And I had stated that like they were having a rocky relationship in the beginning, anyways, because the developer of Scalebound was really telling Microsoft off. Like, you know, I
Well,
guess there are parts of their.
It's like these
developer of
devs don't like
Scalebound-
being controlled to that degree. To
The
have their game on
developer of
Marketplace.
Scalebound said the only reason why because he put it today, the only reason he went with Microsoft is because they have never had success in the Western audience. So they wanted to go with a company that they felt like could give them success. Now Microsoft owns the IP of Scalebound. So like, what does that mean for the actual franchise? Because they put a lot into that game.
It probably means it's not
remember
going to
all
happen.
the fucking custom consoles they made for Scalebound for the last two fucking E3s and Gamescoms and
Yeah.
all the fucking hype they had behind that, and it means nothing now.
Well, I mean, like if they try to make Scalebound on their own, it's going to be with a Western developer and a Western. I mean, it's basically going to take Scalebound out of what it was, and turn it
It's not
into.
going to be anywhere near what it was supposed
It's
to be.
going to turn it into Halo or
And
Gears.
what really
with
pisses me off
dragons.
is I get all these fucking retards. Great thing that they can more games. No, that doesn't mean shit. Because 2014 they canceled Phantom Dust. Now we're getting a remake of that bullshit. I don't want a remake. I want a new fucking Phantom Dust. You know, you canceled what was that other game? They didn't actually cancel, but they got rid of the services for it. You know which one I'm talking about, Rambo? The one where you was able to, like, it's kind of like Minecraft, where you're able to make your own game out of it and shit.
No. Oh, Project Spark.
Yeah, Project Spark.
No, they
got rid of
canceled.
that.
They canceled it. They closed that studio
No,
down.
no. Yeah, they took it down, but you could, like, if you still have the physical copy, like I do, you can still play it.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean, you can't. It doesn't have any more support or whatever like that. But they
Yeah, it
actually
has
canceled that
no
IP
support
completely
at all. I mean,
because they.
that was another game, 2014. They canceled like 3 games. Fable Legends was also thrown out in 2014. It was canceled. There were so many games fucking canceled because of the bullshit. Like, what the fuck are they doing with that company?
It looks to me. It seems like Satiela, not whatever the fuck his name is. It seems like he's turning. He's not. He's in charge of Xbox. It seems like, or he's the one pushing the narrative at Xbox, and we all know he's not. He's really like as far as like as slimline as possible. I mean, he doesn't want to deal with.
But they can't survive off of just Halo 4's.
No, they can't. I mean, they're turning into Nintendo. I mean, it's like they're having what, like third-party games and the 3 franchises that we know are
Oh, no,
yay, Forza.
I tweeted Phil. I asked him. I was like, "You said that you don't want to rely on third-party games, so then why the fuck are you butchering all your first-party games?"
Did he answer you?
No, I never got an answer.
Oh, you won't.
You're not going to.
No, he'll
Because that's
reply
literally
back
what's
to.
going on. You only have what 3 franchises right now. I mean, because you know we're not going to get a fucking Recore, even though I would love the fucking another Recore, but that's not going to fucking happen. And you're not going to see another Quantum Break either. So, like, what new IP is going to stay?
I don't know.
I don't think there is one that will.
And Gears, I listened to the TXR podcast, and Randall Thor, he gets pretty good quality info or whatever, but he said that he heard that somebody told him that Gears 4 actually way undersold, and that the only thing keeping that alive, Gears 4 alive, is the Gears packs. The actual
I can believe that.
So I mean, that's not good either. I mean, that's one of their major franchises. So really, I mean, it's not looking good for Microsoft, and I don't want to see that, because I mean, PlayStation has to have competition, and Nintendo's just not going to compete. Because you don't like what we talked about the other day. I forgot on one of these things, that we cannot have a monopoly in the console realm. Because then it's basically, if PlayStation walks out and says, "Hey, look, this is what we're doing. Fuck you. You can't do anything besides either that or go to PC." If you're a console only and you just refuse to go to PC, you're at the helm of PlayStation. Like whatever the hell that they decided to do is they did. You know, I mean, we don't need that. We need Microsoft to actually focus on shit, and they can't come out and do third party deals now, because they wrote articles and everything. It's not like Phil Spencer's words went unnoticed. So that he would be held to task if he came out with a third-party exclusive.
I mean, it's fucking bullshit. It really is.
I don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna do. I mean,
hey, where did the just real quick? Where did the mental illness story come from? Did it actually come from Microsoft themselves?
Yeah, it supposedly came from someone from Microsoft. I didn't find out who it was.
Because I'm on Windows Central right now, and this is a story that was posted on the 9th. And they're talking about it came down to a business decision. That's why I asked.
But the story came out in a Eurogamer article. Whenever they kind of, Kotaku kind of just alluded to the fact that it may be canceled. This is before it actually came official.
Yeah.
Eurogamer actually had a little bit more further info. It kind of like really sounded like for sure that it was canceled, and sure enough it was. But they had listed on there that they had
confirmed, didn't they?
Yeah, that they had spoke to somebody at Microsoft, and one of their insiders that they had at Microsoft gave the information and said that they had taken a month off of work. They were forced to take a month off of work because of
all they had developers
mental health reasons.
Take a month off of work.
Yeah. And I got told by people, like, whenever I was like, dude, if there was like stress problems and stuff like that from these people, like that's a true health issue, health concern. Like it's legitimate that if they needed to take time off, that they did. And they were like, well, fuck that. That's their fault. They should have worked on it. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like you think that stress and like mental health is like no like just big deal? I don't know. These Xbox fanboys are just.
It's ridiculous, because they're like, this right here, I don't give a fuck. You're like, oh, it wasn't gonna sell well. Who gives a fuck if it wasn't gonna sell well? It's still a fucking IP.
And it's a variety.
What fucking IP?
It's a hybrid. It's also the very hybrid that everybody wanted. They wanted a Monster Hunter experience, and they wanted that customizability with their characters like they had in Monster Hunter, and they were about to get that.
And they wanted wanted a JRPG that
elements
and this was like the perfect storm. I mean, it probably wouldn't have sold like Halo levels or Gears levels or whatever, but
it would have still been badass.
It still would have been good, and that would have been something to build off of.
It would have been something more than what, like, that's the reason why.
Now you have nothing.
Well, that's the reason why I was getting pissed when people were like, "Oh, well, Quantum Break didn't sell well, or Recore didn't sell well." A lot of times, the first fucking damn the first game in the series doesn't always sell the best, unless
No,
it's like
look at Assassin's Creed.
it's like a Gears or something. You know, it takes a couple of them to come out before it actually does well, like a couple of sequels.
And that's one
So
thing
why
that
are
I've
we
been.
even sitting here bitching about it didn't sell well?
That's the one thing I've been saying about like PlayStation. Like I've been having these conversations since the whole Scalebound thing with some of these people, and some of them can actually talk and like not attack you. But the one thing that's good about PlayStation is that even though these games don't sell like the best, like
Yeah, they take
everybody,
risk.
they take risk, like they're out there. But then somebody kind of put it in perspective is that Sony's the only thing keeping Sony afloat is PlayStation. So they had to make PlayStation like the top-notch place to play as far as consoles. They have to give the gamers whatever they want at whatever, like, you know, within
Microsoft
limits
has
of what
to do
they
the
have.
same thing,
That,
or no one's going to
well,
stay on
yeah,
the platform.
well, yeah, but Microsoft has all the money. Microsoft doesn't look at Xbox as a I mean, you've got to admit, I mean, through Bill Gates and everybody, they've never looked at Xbox as a true viable platform. They've entertained the idea, they've thought about it, they like it, but they've never like really looked at it and respected it as this is a, you know, a big thing. I mean, like if you talk to any of the hearing about any of the reports from the actual higher ups at Microsoft,
Microsoft has their fingers in so much that the Xbox is just so little to them.
yeah, it's just like it's just there. I mean, they'll entertain it, but it's just there.
They're catering to a lot of different industries at the same time. They still retain a lot of their government contracts. They still retain a lot of their software
And that's where they're-
engineering teams that are over there. I mean, there's a lot more that makes console industry looks kind of tiny. Ad marketing is the number one that they're actually successful at because a lot of the tools they sell help in that. So it's, I mean, that alone is just abysmal in comparison to like console. Like a console is just the market's not really there in comparison to what their income is elsewhere. So I mean, for them to sit there and be like, "Oh my God, this is like Xbox is selling so good." When people get into these numbers games here on YouTube, it's funny. It really is. You would think they knew what they were talking about because of the way they would speak about it, but they don't. Because they really just pull shit out of their asses without actually researching things. Which is
Well, at the end of the day, with Microsoft, numbers matter.
Absolutely.
Like they're not the Sony where like kind of a mixture of fan service plus numbers when it comes to taking on a game or getting a sequel out.
Mhm.
But Microsoft is very much hard on the numbers. Like if it
You
does not
said hard
perform
on.
up, if it does not perform up to the standards that they said, then it's gone. Because they look at it, they look at Xbox as like just like they kind of treat Xbox as they would an actual like Microsoft Word or whatever, you know, like they actually is it successful? No, bam. They don't give it, they're not going to give it a second shot. And that's not going to work in the console industry.
It's
Like
not gonna
you-
work at all. This shit's fucking infuriating, and all these 12-hour podcasts that aren't fucking actually speaking out for the shit are pissing me the fuck off because they're not
Well-
doing anything but causing more of a fucking problem.
Well, TXR podcast, I've never actually heard Tim Dog. He wasn't real doom and gloom, but he was like, you could tell his quote unquote loyalty to Xbox or his faith in Xbox had been truly tested. And he was basically like going, look, the way it looks is like the Xbox is going to become like a Steam machine rather than an actual first party pumping out titles. And he said, when you know, that's the way it looks like in the books right now. And he said, and if it's coming down to that way, he said, I just won't be on Twitter talking about Xbox. He said, I'll probably buy a PlayStation to where I can play games, but I'll probably just talk about
But did he actually mean it? Because he was just on the other fucking podcast with crap in them, and I was listening to
Well,
it.
yeah, but
and they were defending the whole fucking Microsoft bullshit.
I get the, I think he plays the part on there or whatever. Cause like on the TXR podcast, I mean, you had Randall Thor and Macca and like all of them actually, but they're like hardcore Xbox guys, but they're not the fanboys. But they were actually being open and honest about, you know, it doesn't look good as far as Microsoft. And as far as like, even if they come out with new games at E3, what's the chances of them actually being released? or if they are released, what's the chances of them actually being taken serious enough to be a franchise? And right now, their history doesn't show very well on either one of those. I mean, we just looked at today, like Gears of War 4. People, I guess somebody was tweeting out his percentage, or his achievement that he got, and on Xbox it says like how many percentage of players that have bought the game have got that achievement. And there was one I guess complete the campaign on insane difficulty, and only 1% of the people that bought it has got it. And then Randall Thor is like, well, I wonder how many people have actually beat the campaign on any difficulty. Well, I looked it up, only 34%. And they're not, I mean, they don't care. Like the majority of, it seems like the majority of Xbox gamers, and what Xbox seems to be going for isn't so much about any sort of campaign mode or, actual story driven game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're going for a multiplayer experience at all. That's what we're doing. We're doing game treating it as a service rather than a gaming console.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's either you're going to get behind it or you're not. I mean, that's just, if you're like an Xbox guy, I personally can't, because I'm just not, I like my multiplayer games, but I couldn't do that as like a focus.
Mm-hmm.
And if the only thing basically on the Steam is the multiplats, or the Scorpio is like multiplats, and like a Halo multiplayer or Gears multiplayer,
Yeah,
and some games from the PC. Well, shit, if I'm an Xbox gamer, I'm going straight to PC, because then I still get the same games, but then I get the wide variety of all the other ones that I'm not going to get. And I don't see how they can stay competitive on just the Scorpio.
I don't think they are. I think you're all right. I think they're eventually weaning themselves out of the console.
I think they've been looking at just putting games on PC as like the thing that they're gonna do.
They're trying to make the Xbox a PC box, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
because they're not caring about anything at all, and there's nothing going on. Like, where are these so-called fucking IPs?
They're just not there. I mean, right now you should be seeing or hearing something about, like, Phil Spencer took over in 2000, like what, the end of 2013 or beginning of 2014. So by now
It was the end of 2013 beginning. You're right.
So you should have actually heard something by now of what, like, we're done with the Don Matrick era of games that he's worked out as far as being made. So now we're moving into the Phil Spencer era. So now we're starting to see what is Phil bringing to the table. And it seems like to me he was hired as more of a hatchet man rather than let's build it up brand, because he's closed more than he's actually put out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that gets me. Like, they could have, even with Fable Legends could have fucking actually done something. They could have worked on that and actually seen how that was. Because, I mean, I don't remember if I was talking to you or whoever, but I was like, Fable Legends could have been like a League of Legends or Dota for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have brung it out as an early access. And that's another thing. They could have brung Scalebound out as an early access. They have early access on Xbox Live. They could have brung it out early access, seen how it
at least got some money back.
but what nobody.
Well, no, they could have gauged the fans off of that. That's what the point of early access is to gauge the fucking fan base.
Well, I know, but I'm saying if they do early access, I don't know if they do early access like Steam, but
They do.
like to where you
They
buy
do it
the
similar to
game
like
at a
Steam.
cheaper
Yeah,
you buy the
it's
game
just
at a
called
cheaper
game
price.
Preview, yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
why?
called game preview.
But if
You
they would have
buy
put
it at a
Scalebound
cheaper
on that,
price.
Hey,
If
for
they would've
everyone
put
for everyone in the chat, real quick, there's 15 minutes left on the poll that's pinned on my Twitter account. Please go there and vote in the poll. It's relevant. I'll be using it soon, but I want you to vote in that poll. I've got everybody. It's not for PC. It's for every gamer. So go there
oh, I already did.
and go there and vote, please.
If
And you'll see why
the
soon.
early access on there
But
is just like Steam. I mean,
yeah, but
you can,
that's what I'm saying is, like, they could, if they put those games on there, they could have at least recouped some of the costs that they've spent out.
and they couldn't engage the audience to see if the audience actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand like why they don't utilize that thing, but to me, it doesn't seem like they're being serious about bringing out games. They're more about just trying to make it as much of a service as possible.
Now, so here's something that's really should be like taken from all this. If anything, just don't cancel the games because it's just going to cost money even more down the line. Because here you are. But here's what I'm saying. This is where excuses from these same developers or from these companies like Sony or Microsoft will sit there and say, we came into financial woes because of game A or game B because we canceled it. Because these idiots don't think, oh, well, we just paid these guys millions of dollars to finish a contract that we just paid $1 million to cancel. Like, it's stupid. It's mind-bogglingly stupid.
Because you're not only out, like, you're I mean, if money was the issue, like, you've not only like not put more money into it just to finish it off, but you've like completely wasted every bit of those millions of dollars that you did to try to get it there.
Yep.
Now, if you're going to cancel it for money issues, cancel it like within the first year. But whenever you're 4 years into it and you're almost at what release day, the year of release, that right there, like there's got to be more to it than just money. Because I mean that's insane.
It's stupid.
And apparently Microsoft, the actual corporation of Microsoft, isn't really behind Xbox as much as like what everybody wants to quote how much Xbox is worth and stuff. Because I mean, look at Sony. Everybody talks about how broke they are, and I mean we're going to be honest, they're not like rolling in money, not anything compared to Microsoft. But if you look at Sony, I mean, hell, they paid into The Last Guardian, 10 years of development, and it's done. It's there.
Yeah, but that was on and off. That wasn't actually the whole time. That was on and off development.
I realize that. But I mean, it started way back when. But I mean, they still kept pumping.
They were able
to get it released.
To get a release, yeah.
They didn't just give up on it because it took so long, or it wasn't. It didn't meet the deadlines or whatever. They didn't give up on it. But Microsoft is like one of the richest companies in America or in the world, actually. And like they just walk away from it because like at the end of the day, to them, it's just a balance sheet. Does it come out? Do I come out in the red or black? And if I come out in the, if I come out wrong, then you're done.
They're looking at it too much like business and not as like what the game could do, because it takes time. Like even with Halo, it took time for Halo to get the way it was.
Yeah. I mean, they're still patching it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a franchise just can't be built over fucking night.
Well, look at Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 1.
I think Scalebound could have been a big franchise for them if they would have actually just gave it a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Better than the other two that they had. I think it had a better shot than Quantum Break or fucking
ReCore.
So here's.
I think it has a better chance of Sea of Thieves too.
So here's the thing, though. Scalebound actually had members in the PC gaming community like salivating for this, because you got to remember, there's a lot of us MMO players over here that like shit like that. We've been wanting Monster Hunter stateside for years now, and this was our chance. This was actually our chance.
This is the closest you were going to get to it.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, we could always do the VPN and then connect over there, but we know it's not going to be that enjoyable with all that lag, And having a game like this canceled on PC and console, I mean, that's two different communities that are fucking sour. The MMO community was pretty pissed off about this. They had MMO bomb farms blown up all day today about it. So like, this affected a lot of people. And so when people sit there and they wish other franchises death because stuff like this happened, like, who are you to like really talk about fair and develop, the way these companies do their things if all these families are going to wish for each other's franchises to die? It makes no sense. It actually affects people. We were like looking forward to this fucking game. This game, I told Shayna this. This is one of those games that sold the Xbox to me. I'm not lying. Like, I actually bought this shit. I was like, hey, that'd be cool. And
well, get this. Like, speaking of that, how many people? There was actually tweets on the at Xbox Twitter handle of them talking about I'm really looking forward to Scalebound, and this is like in August or
I had
around
Scalebound on my posters.
and
on
talking
every-
about I'm really looking forward to Scalebound. I'm really thinking about picking up a Xbox One this holiday season to be able to play it. And they were like,
Ah.
definitely
you
do.
poor damn fool.
They were like, definitely do, because you're going to enjoy it. And then after the very first part of the year, they announced it canceled, even though production ended on it way back when in 2016, because Platinum Games quit tweeting about Scalebound. Or the Scalebound Twitter handle actually quit tweeting in September,
Scummy.
like completely. So to me, that
They
like
knew about
Microsoft,
this shit months in
yeah,
advance.
Microsoft actually stayed quiet, knowing that if they announced it before the holiday season, it would have affected the sales during the holiday season.
That
So they
is
obviously
knew
knew
about
people
this
were
shit months in
following
advance.
this. If nobody cared about this game, they would have
And I
announced
mean,
it back then.
If they knew this game was going to get canceled, then why the fuck did they show shit at Gamescom last year?
Because it's
What's the
Microsoft.
fucking point?
They're
I
just
I
don't-
mean,
fucking
it's
Microsoft,
stupid
man.
fucking business, man.
That's what they do. They pull this shit with people, and people keep going. And you got your lead morons who'll defend them no matter
Yo,
what. You can't do anything wrong.
Yo, where the fuck are those idiots that were like, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order because Titanfall 2 didn't go up on EA Access? Where
Are
you
you
fucking
fucking
where you fucking
minute, are
idiots at right now with Scalebound?
wait a minute? Are you kidding? Because Crab Gamer is one of these people, and he's actually like saying that blaming
Him
blaming
and the
Platinum
other guys
Games
are
and
glad that Scalebound's
and
getting
yeah, they're
canceled.
happy
They
it's
don't
canceled.
care.
They're happy.
They're fucking idiots.
Yeah, it does it for the life of me. I don't.
They're
I don't know,
sitting
they're-
there. What they're doing is damage controlling. Because one of them said it earlier on their podcast. Because I was listening to him. He was like, when they used to do this shit back in the day, we used to try to spin it to make it look good. And that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to spin it to make it look good, so they don't have to fucking like get all the shit from Sony fanboys and shit about it. But I don't give a fuck about that. I want a fucking good game, and I was promised this game, and now you're fucking canceling it. And you never even put it on your early access that you fucking hyped up 2 years ago about this early access, and you've only had like 6 or 7 games on that damn thing. You've had
And I think-
fucking.
I think
It's just stupid.
Rag saw the tweet from like between me and Kid Smooth talking about I'm apparently quote unquote neutral. I'm not allowed to speak.
The worst, just the worst.
I'm not allowed to speak about any kind of. I'm not allowed to speak critical of Xbox or anybody. Like,
Fucking
because I told him I was like, neutrals are allowed to speak critical of companies. Like that's the whole point of
So
being
what the fuck
neutral.
am I then? Can I speak about the
And
shit?
and
Fuck no. Shut your mouth.
Kid Smooth told me he's like neutrals are allowed to be neutral.
Fuck off, Rex.
And I'm like, you
You're
got to be
allowed
fucking
neutral.
kidding
It's
me.
like, what does that mean?
Like, and then now here, Sierra L, we all know
Oh god.
him, but he apparently tweeted out a reply, or I guess quoted one of Tim's tweets, and it says, "Hey Microsoft, thanks for being honest and waiting till after Christmas to announce Scalebound is canceled," which is kind of weird coming from this, Xbox fanboy, but yet Tim Dog's response to it is 1 to block or 2 to mute. Like, why would you why would you block him and mute it? I mean, that's a legitimate complaint.
It really is.
I mean, I'd never thought in my life that I would ever say that anything that Sierra Air whatever said
Dude,
would be
these people are a
legitimate.
bunch of fucking trolls and shit. Don't give them any fucking attention. These people are jokes. They're just looking for attention. They're trolls.
No, I get that, but I mean, what he said, but what he said though, actually,
motherfuckers are the reason why this community, like the Xbox community, is so fucking dumb. Like the whole guy pissing on the fucking PS4. I mean, that's stupid. You're just making it like the actual legit people that play Xbox look like fucking retards. It's stupid to me.
yeah, I don't know. This the damage control is like unreal, and
Yeah, there's no need for it.
like I've seen people get told that if you weren't tweeting about it constantly about Scalebound, then you need to shut up and not say anything about it being canceled. And I'm like, that the game being canceled has more implication than just that one game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge implication about like there's been 4 games canceled. Several first party studios actually closed. it's definitely speaking volumes about what Xbox's visions are.
I'm actually worried about Cuphead because we haven't seen hardly.
Haven't seen
any of
anything
that.
on that either. And if
And
whenever
I'm
they
really that's a hand-drawn game.
And
I'm
then
really
they
looking
and they
forward to
announced
that.
it was going to be on like Steam and everything, didn't they?
yeah, it's actually the day one Steam release with Xbox and PC or Xbox and Windows 10. Let me see. Because I looked up on Windows
it was
Central.
announced the same year Scalebound was announced, so I'm not surprised if that bitch gets. I mean, what was it, Gigantic or whatever? The MMO
Yeah.
Gigantor.
that was canceled.
But
And
it's,
I found-
it's out right now.
Yeah, it's out now on Game Preview.
It's
Out on
been
Game Preview. Okay, never mind.
it's,
Then I thought
it
that
was canceled at one time though. It was
Yeah, it was
canceled. Like
canceled.
they came out and said the Xbox One version has been canceled.
Yeah, because I remember
Uh,
claiming that it was canceled.
But what I found interesting is on the Windows Central thing when they actually, because they're the ones who talk to actual Microsoft, their reply was Microsoft Studios has a pretty packed lineup for 2017 already with State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, Halo Wars 2, and Crackdown 3 in the pipeline. No mention at all about Cuphead. And I still don't know.
care for State of Decay though, man. In all honesty,
It's just kind of, to me, it was a boring game. The original one was it bored me. It was.
Rambo, your number one fan says, "Rambo, you faggot." It's exposing fuckboys.
Oh yeah, he's here.
Who?
Rambo's
Exposing
number one
fuckboys.
fan.
I don't know who he is.
Rags likes him too because of his great spelling.
It's hilarious.
God, it really. But I don't know. I just don't like. What do you think? What do y'all think about like as y'all's? I mean, I know you don't really have quote unquote faith in a company or whatever, but your overall vision for Xbox has that changed since from the beginning of this generation?
They're about to be done with me, man, because that's way too many cancels in the last year. I'm fucking tired of it.
Let me put it this way, Rambo. Like, I bought my shit to play it, and I'm still playing it now. I'm not gonna stop playing my current lineup.
Well, no, I'm not. No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm not saying it for your benefit. I'm saying it for anybody who's watching this. I'm answering it this way for a reason. I'm not gonna cancel anything. I don't pre-order anything. So, I mean, I'm not gonna stop
You shouldn't
playing.
be pre-ordering in the first place.
I'm not gonna stop playing my games because of one game. Am I gonna be upset? Am I a little angry? Am I a little salty about them canceling it? Absolutely.
I just don't have trust in that company
as
anymore.
as far as what they did with the holidays, that was dirty. As far as the company goes, I am a little salty. Not a lot, but I am a little salty.
For me, it's a little different. Like, cause I bought my Xbox One to play some exclusives too, but going into a platform, I expect this kind of crap. I bank on this, so this really doesn't affect me at all. Yeah, I'm bummed because Scalebound got canceled, but I'm not losing any faith or whatever, or however you want to put that into Microsoft, because this kind of shit happens. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, but
they're not going anywhere.
It's been a repeating pattern for them. And that's why I don't have faith with them anymore, because it's a constant repeating pattern.
Well, it was more.
If you look at their track record right
Ask
now.
any PC gamer about Half-Life 3.
Well, the question
Well, yeah,
really.
I did Half-Life 3. I understand that, but if you go back and you look at 360 and Xbox Originals path track with their exclusives and everything, yeah, they had hit or miss and they had cancels, right? But they haven't had as many cancels as the Xbox One has had. They haven't had as many fucking flops as the Xbox One has had. And completely.
But you get
the Xbox One has just been getting really shit.
As Brimstone said, man, I bought my shit to play it. I'm actually playing it right now. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not. It wasn't. The question wasn't so much like, about walking away or do you like, but like say on E3, when you see like if they come out and they have if they show some new IPs or whatever that that coming whatever whenever it's supposed to come.
Mm-hmm.
I know before, like, we would talk about like the E3, reactions and stuff. And, hey, it's not like we'd run out in a pre-order or whatever, but we were like, I'm really interested in that game. I'm really kind of, excited for that one, but not to the point of like over being stupid about it.
No.
Does this change your outlook on like the E3s and stuff to where, if they show any new games, because to me, like if they show a new game, I'm not really
Oh, am I gonna be excited?
I'm not gonna give it.
Is what
Yeah, I'm not gonna give
No.
much
Yeah.
thought to their games because until it actually is in my hand, I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my fault. This generation, the way I've handled this generation myself, like I fell into the hype of the E3 because normally I don't watch E3, you guys. Like I really don't. I watched when it just so happened that during that year was my first E3 that I actually watched with my friends, and I was pretty hyped for all the platforms at that point because everybody presented something that I liked, which was the first time that I've ever experienced that. So, yeah, I bought these consoles mainly on the games that I saw that were supposedly coming out. So imagine someone that is getting sufferable for one platform, but now imagine all three of them. That's kind of what happened to me. So it was like, it really hit me kind of hard. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be that stupid again. I'm only going to buy the one platform and stick with it.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna get hyped for anything that they do or like have any
Yeah, just
faith
take
in what they say.
take every week as its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To me,
I mean-
E3 has always been just a conversation topic. It's
it
not
really. I mean, it
anything
really
more.
has. I mean, but I mean, like I don't know. People like brought up like PlayStation's this past E3. And it was like a lot of games like God of War, Days Gone, a lot of games, or the Hideo Kojima game or whatever it's called, Death Stranding. But there was no dates on anything. There was no like 2015, none of that, or 2000 whatever 17. There was none of that exactly like giving you an idea of when the game was going to release. So we knew the games are going to be coming, but we just don't know when.
Rambo.
And my thought was like, well, at least I by looking at the two E3s with PlayStation, you can kind of bank that it will come. You just don't know when.
Here's a question, Rambo. How many actual cancellations
Has-
generation?
Has
How many games have like completely got canceled?
this generation
Oh
Yeah,
God.
from PlayStation.
from like well, I mean,
Just PlayStation side of things,
right,
not
but do you
delays, but cancels.
yeah, but I mean, do you count like Silent Hill because that wasn't
Yeah.
really PlayStation that canceled it? That was
Yeah, you would count-
Konami
you would
and
count-
Kojima.
Well,
Cancel's
no,
canceled.
I'm talking about first party. I'm talking about their first parties and second
Oh,
parties.
none.
The stuff that they own.
None.
Okay. How many have Microsoft had canceled completely
Uh,
of their
I
first
think
parties?
I think the last whenever I heard Randall Thorne say it was like 8 total.
Okay, so what does that fucking tell you?
It's yeah. I mean, it doesn't look good. I mean, it's
It
definitely
doesn't look
something to
good
be.
at all.
Now, I mean,
Because not only that, but how many studios have each company actually canceled?
Sony
a year
actually,
ago?
I think Sony got that covered this gen.
no.
Really?
Sony's closed the Drive Club studio, and they didn't own Ready at Dawn. So, but they're still there. Ready at Dawn. They just kind of like cut ties to where Ready at Dawn's now multiplat. But as far as closing studios, they've only closed the Drive Club studio that I know of. And
Like half of Naughty Dog. It was like over half of Naughty Dog closed. Some guys.
well, yeah, but I mean, I don't consider that like
They
like
sold.
full clo-
They
I was
sold
talking
their
about full
Sony.
closures.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying like the stuff that was pretty much removed. Like
Yeah.
they closed. Not only did they close a studio within Sony Online Entertainment, but they sold off the entire branch.
Yeah, they sold that up. And now when it comes to like Microsoft, they did Press Play, Lionhead, whoever did
LucasArts.
Yeah, LucasArts, yeah. And I think there's one more. I can't think of the name because they were there was like 4 or 5 that was done off of Microsoft Studios, like within, I think it was like a month or so. Like within that same month, they just kept disappearing. So yeah, I mean, there's really Microsoft as far as first party studios like has really narrowed their first party studio list down to a few.
Yeah, I
Try
mean,
having
if I was, I
fucking
would
none.
seriously be considering. I mean, even beforehand, the industry was just. I mean, you shouldn't pre-order things. You shouldn't get overhyped for things. And now it's just like there's just another reason to not build up all this stuff when you know it can just get taken out from underneath you.
Yeah, I mean It's something that they're going to have to allow Coalition and 343, and I don't even know what Turn 10 could do besides racing games, but they're going to have to allow those 3 studios to branch out and be able to make more than just one franchise. Because
they're
like,
not-
I mean, look at Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has Uncharted. They have The Last of Us. They have
they're not
some
gonna do
other
that
things.
because-
I know they're not, but I mean, I don't see them. They're not really getting more first parties, so I mean, like they're gonna have to do something to create
and
more
Phil
than just
already said that he doesn't want to do second parties hardly.
second or third parties. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Phil's a fucking
I don't know
retard
what they're-
sometimes. He doesn't know what he wants.
And if he comes out, say if he came out like saying with the Scorpio at E3 and said, we're announcing a partnership with Activision or whatever, it's not going to happen. But we're just saying that they did. He's going to be called to task by a lot of people. And I mean, that's because he came out publicly and said, we're not doing that. I don't want to do that because that's not promoting growth in the business and or the industry. And here he comes, doing it. But that's it. I don't know what he can do that isn't going to be with a third party. I don't know. I hope they have something in their pipeline because I don't want to see them go down or go to where they're not competitive anymore. Like them being competitive is a very good thing.
The only
All these stupid Sony fanboys like, yeah, I hope they just disappear. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
stupid
saw
idiot.
some stupid Sony fanboy like cheering on, like laughing and everything about this cancellation, going, "Oh, but now Sony's got you killed." Like, who gives a shit about that? It ain't about like you should
It's
be
not
focusing
about
on.
that. It's about what.
Why would
the
you-
industry is gonna be like?
I mean, like, yeah, yay, Sony's doing good, but why would you want Sony to be able to have this monopoly over everything? That does not ring as a positive for anybody. Like Sony's doing great right now, but if they had the market completely cornered,
Remember how good the Xbox 360 was doing?
yeah. I mean, if PlayStation had the market cornered completely to where they were the only console on the market that could give you the AAA games and multiplats and what would traditionally now multiplats, but would be only on that console. Like fuck, like you think that the like canceling or saying no to EA Access and raising the thing $10 was bad? Who knows what they would do then? Because if you wanted to play on console, that would be the only place. You would be forced to like bow to their will, like whatever they say would go.
What I don't
It's like
understand-
it's like what I tweeted today, a picture of 2 GameSpot articles where Sony was saying that there's no EA access on PlayStation because it's not a good value for PlayStation gamers, and then they also at the same time will say they're raising the price of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
I mean, you think it's bad now? You think it's bad now?
that would be terrible if they had the market cornered. I mean, either vice versa. If Microsoft had it cornered or PlayStation or even Nintendo, it would just be a bad thing. You want competition amongst that area because it'd be really ugly if they didn't. I wouldn't play on console anymore if they did that. I mean, if it got down to a monopoly, just for the fact that
And I mean, Nintendo's not gonna be in like.
it become
the
like way
running
too expensive.
like they are.
Well, I don't know. The Switch thing being priced at around 250 is what it's leaked at. If that happens to be the case and they actually launch with a pretty decent library, I mean, I think they're going to take off pretty well with it. Depending on if they actually provide enough stock to, let everybody actually have one. But I mean, if it all depends on their game library whenever when they talk about it tomorrow about what's going to launch with it. If it's like basically, oh, we have Zelda Breath of the Wild and that's going to come out,
Well, that's my problem with Nintendo though, is we don't know, and with the track record of Nintendo and third party.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it at all.
No, that's the reason why I know I'm gonna buy one because I like the Nintendo games, and so I really want. I mean, that's the only way you can play the new Nintendo games. But as far as like getting behind it, I got to see what tomorrow brings. Like, what are they going to announce? Because tomorrow's like when they're gonna announce like what launch games they're gonna have, and if they if some of those are actually third party launch games, then that lets me know that there's gonna be some third party support, which. That's really what they need because like they have some great first party studios, but they can't create games every month of the year. So they need something to fill in the gaps between waiting for that, like Mario 125. Like they need something to wait in between Mario 124 and Mario 125.
Yeah. I see. The thing is like I want Nintendo to do well. I really do. They're just as viable to this industry for uniqueness in game design as, say, Sony is to bringing out quality hardware. I mean, everybody, believe it or not, out of these big three plays a pretty important role, regardless if it's a closed network to good tech to great OSs. I mean, they all three play a key feature. If one of them falls, the other two will be weakened because they won't know how to get better with each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah,
I think it's really important that they stick around. And so everybody goes and cries about how one, like, oh my God, Nintendo should die or Microsoft should die. It's like,
It's the dumbest fucking thing people should say.
they do realize they're gonna fuck themselves over, because I'll guarantee you, if Apple was to take over Android or LG or any of these other companies or all of them, we're gonna be fucked. Because guess what? Everybody's gonna be on a closed network. No one's gonna, you know what I mean? It's just, it's stupidity.
I mean, if anything, could possibly, if anything was going to happen to where one platform succeeded over the other, the only way that it would be a possible good scenario would be the PC over all the consoles, because the PC is just an open network platform, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as just in the console space, yeah, I mean, if Nintendo died off or not, I don't really want to say died off, but if they're not really even really truly a factor anymore. If they were completely gone, it would change the landscape for Microsoft and Sony completely. And then if Microsoft, they've got to stay healthy, both of them, because otherwise there's no reason for like Sony to be pressed or Microsoft to be pressed to bring you these AAA games that are exclusive or whatever, these little experiences, or go out and try to get third-party deals or whatever, if they're the only console out there that's really, relevant. There's no incentive for that. They don't really give a shit. They don't have to spend this big money to make you happy if they're the only ones. They just I don't know. I mean, that cannot, like, these people cannot think things through, and that just blows my mind. I hate it.
Yep.
There was Kids Move, and the rest of them. There's been a few Xbox guys tweeting at Xbox, telling them to keep that Japanese stuff with PlayStation. Don't be bringing that to Xbox. Every time you try to do it, it fails, and like, just keep it. We don't want it. And I'm like going, like, you're crazy. Like, you might not want it or whatever, but it's having that variety there is what's going to make that brand grow. They're fanboys, but their ultimate goal, I guess, in the fanboy world is to beat PlayStation. You're not going to beat PlayStation. You're not going to ever beat PlayStation
without anything
if you don't have the games to compete with them. It's like they're fighting against themselves.
I wish like Microsoft would have done. They should have invested in some of those old RPG companies that I think Access is reviving theirs, and I think Atlas is slowly. They should have bought their subcontracted companies out that create JRPGs. Like, they should have done that. I think that would have been a good move for them. Like, stuff like that, I think Microsoft should actually show some interest in, because with their financial backing, like, they could do some great things. I mean,
they could.
The only reason why they don't is because their parent companies have pretty much dropped them on their head and failed them.
Yep. And like Tim Dog tweeted out today, or not too long right before he came into the podcast, talking about he'd like to see some games like some PC, like they need to focus on, I guess he said, focus on not worrying about first party and crap, but focus on getting PC exclusives over to the Scorpio. And he's like Star Citizen, and I'm like, I don't think the Scorpio can handle Star Citizen.
Yeah, because again, you guys are really overestimating how strong that Scorpio is going to be.
Yeah, and he was like,
a year from now.
Scorpio's not going to be that strong. There's no way.
And he was like, "Oh, it can handle it." I was like, "No, it can't. You don't understand like how demanding Star Citizen is."
Dude.
Um,
I
And,
can't
it's like,
believe people actually said that. Really? About Star
Yeah.
Citizen? Wow.
Yeah, and they think it can happen, and they're going off of it. I'm
No.
like, apparently I was triggered my feathers were ruffled because I said that Scorpio couldn't handle it, but I was like, how my feathers ruffled? I have everything here at my house that can play every single game. I don't give a shit if the Scorpio, like that you say the Scorpio can handle it. That doesn't affect me at all. I'm just kind of being realistic here that y'all are like hyping this thing up to be some sort of super NASA computer when basically I guarantee you, and you can mark my words right here, right now, that the Scorpio is going to be the PS4 Pro, except with the 6 teraflop GPU and maybe a few more gigabytes of RAM. But the CPU is probably going to remain the same. It's probably just going to be an upgraded RAM and GPU type thing like the Pro was. Granted, it's going to be more powerful, but I don't think it's going to have this massive CPU and everything else in there like that they're trying to play it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, but I also want Age of Empires, and he listed off all these RTSs, and I'm like,
Spy PC, man.
why are you asking for RTSs on consoles?
Yeah, man, that's a pretty. There's a reason there's not really that many on there.
They don't play well.
I mean, you have to have, especially in these games, you have to have all these units running and interacting with each other on the screen at one time can be pretty damn demanding. Like, that's why you look at the NPC counts on a lot of these console versions of games, and it's a joke compared to the PC versions.
Ask the 360 community how come they didn't get all of the Supreme Commanders on their console after the first one. I mean, there are reasons. Look, ask Nintendo fans back on the N64 days when they experienced the PC version why the N64 version didn't look too good and how come it didn't play well. Because RTS is just, if it's not geared to a controller, it's not going to work. Period. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I have to say the only one that played well was Halo Wars, but
that was geared for the controller, though, isn't it?
But he was saying he was thinking that
controller.
Yeah, he was saying that basically bring like Age of Empires and all them over, but like make them with a controller in mind.
It's
like,
not gonna happen.
Redo. Am I going? But that doesn't.
Good luck.
RTS isn't really a RTS. Really is not a quote unquote console brand. You know, a console genre. Like if you're gonna ask for PC exclusives, ask for ones that like make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of games on the PC that could be on console. They're just not on console because, well, the market is kind of crazy on console.
I would have to
a lot of
say
devs don't have a choice.
But it's not really an RTS. It was what is it? Civilization 4 actually was decent.
Oh, an 8X game? Yeah. 8X games are fine. Yeah. I don't mind. See, 8X games are fine. Like anything with 5X or 8X, that's fine. But if people are asking for games like say StarCraft even, like, look at all the macro keys. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many keys it takes to play that game? I mean, it's just ridiculous to me.
There was somebody trying to tell me that they wanted Arma on console. Yeah. And I'm like, I was like,
that's not happening.
It's like, at what point do you think? I mean, they would have to require the developer to basically cut the game in half.
Really? Yeah. I mean, it's like you guys don't get it.
Arma is bigger than what you think it is. Like, it's not just a third-person shooter. It's not. I mean, it's an actual.
Oh, if they want,
it's fucking huge.
If they want this that bad, ask them how come they're not playing Star Citizen's other type game that's on Xbox right now.
What is it?
Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna have to look.
That's on Xbox. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, that game on a keyboard is a pain in the ass. Have you tried to play that for Xbox, dude? It is trash. Like, it is so hard to play. Like, I'm like, you know what? Fuck, because I have it for both. I have it for both PC and console. I
heard great things about the game.
It is a great game. Yeah, it's a great game. It's just people don't understand what they're asking for. Like, they don't understand that game is not going to play as good as they think it's going to play just because it's coming to the freaking consoles. I mean.
And then we had a couple people today or yesterday, whatever, tell me that he kept on. I guess he continued on throughout the night after I was asleep, and then I woke up to several tweets from him But apparently he knows for a fact that since the game was having frame rate issues, that it was because of
From
the
an Xbox
CPU.
game, yeah.
It was because of the CPU, and there's no way it could go to PlayStation because PlayStation has a weaker CPU, and it would be even worse. And I was like, but just because it had frame rate issues doesn't mean that it was CPU related. He was like, well, they had explosions on the screen. I'm like, yeah, that can still work
That
from the
doesn't
GPU.
mean
I was like, that doesn't
anything.
mean anything about like how you cannot. How are you deducing this to be a CPU issue? And he was like, well, look at games run better on frame rate wise on Xbox than they do on PlayStation. I was like,
No.
but I was like, no, not really. I was like, the frame rates are actually kind of like either they're even or they're just a little bit better
Plus,
on
you're
PlayStation.
comparing 900p to 10.
Yeah,
1080
and that's exactly what I said. I said,
980 to 720 or something like
I
that.
said, whenever you have games running at 720p or 900p versus 1080p, I said you're going to see a frame rate difference. It's like because it takes less to run a 720p game than it does a 1080p. And he's like, but I can't see a difference. And I'm like, it's not about a
Bullshit.
visual thing. Well, even if it is, it's not about a visual thing. It's 720p. It's easier to run than it is a 1080p.
Yeah, people
Even
stop telling me
regardless
you
if you
can't
can
tell
tell
the
the
difference
difference or
because
not.
I
I
don't believe it.
can.
I don't buy it for a second. You have to be blind to not be able to tell the difference between 720 and 900p.
I
People
I
are
mean, I can
actually
tell the
saying
difference.
that shit.
Yeah, I had about 12 tweets from this guy. Like he just kept on and kept on telling me how
Are you blind and do you wear trifocals?
I don't understand. Like I can tell sitting at my PC, I can tell the difference between 900p and 1080p.
Oh yeah, and the
Um,
bigger the screen, and especially on PC where the screen is closer, and a lot of the times
Yeah.
it takes up more of your vision than sitting on a TV.
Dude, after going to a 4K television, I can't go back to 1080p. Neither can Val, dude. Like we
Oh,
both
yeah.
are like, yeah, 1080p. No.
No, that's like so 12 years ago.
yeah, like me, like my wife was talking about switching out like our TV for like my son's TV that he has a 1080p 55-inch, and I was like, no. I was like, shit. I mean, they might come through at 1080p, but it upscales to 4K, and there's a huge difference. I mean, I can visually see a difference when I'm watching TV versus like watching my son's TV. I'm like, I'm not going backwards in this. No, it's just not going to
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, like I've said,
Um,
my with my monitor, I have some old games that don't go to 10 or 1440p, and I have to play them at 1080p, and it's a pretty huge difference on my monitor. It's just like an obvious. It's just blurry.
Yep.
And he said he would get this. He said that the YouTube videos that like Digital Foundry does or whatever, that side by side of PS4 and Xbox One, and one's 900p and one's 1080p, he can't tell the difference. I was like,
What's
really?
YouTube?
I was like, you really are an idiot at this point because you do realize that whenever it renders it all in the same damn resolution.
Oh, he sure can render.
I was like, God, it's just like these people just don't. I don't know. It blows
Yeah,
my
man.
mind. I never talked about things that I just like have no fucking clue what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know how much
I'll ask
research I have to
questions.
do in some of these videos sometimes.
Exactly.
It's like looking for links,
Research.
looking for statements, looking for.
Because you don't want to just go off half cocked and start saying shit, and all of a sudden somebody's sending you back going, "Look, you're wrong here. You're wrong here. You're wrong here."
Yeah.
Like, figure out like if you don't understand, ask questions, but then don't tell the person that's telling you because they know that they're
Mhm.
wrong because it doesn't go along with what you thought.
How
And
dare you?
that's a gist of my Twitter arguments is that people say shit. And no, I don't even go hard on them. I don't even go rude with them. I'm just like, you might want to rethink this because like this part cannot happen because of this reason or whatever. And then all of a sudden I become a fucking hater. I'm a pony. I'm an X-bot. I'm like,
At least
I'm
you're not
just-
a neutral.
oh, well, I got called the neutral today apparently.
I heard.
So,
I heard.
Yeah,
I heard
okay, you're doing all right.
neutrals.
I'm everything.
I heard
Well,
neutrals.
you're gonna have to pick a side and stick with it. Even if your side is neutral, you have to stick with the neutral side.
And neutrals, I can't do anything besides shut up and play.
I heard neutrals were gonna really buy out that Switch. But
Yeah.
that's. Oh man. It's all stupid. It really is stupid at the end of the day. It's like, Jesus Christ, people, why can't you just stay off of social media? And
Not
if
getting
you're
more?
if you're an ignorant stereotype, please stay off of social media. Like, don't come near social media. And I mean
Exactly,
all
just-
stereotypes, by the way.
deal with the facts at hand and just deal with it. Like you don't even need to be on social. You shouldn't be allowed to be on social media if you're like you are with them fanboy like type. And I'm not talking about just with the consoles, but just in general. Like if you're that fanboy Democrat, the fanboy Republican, or whatever, just stay the fuck away. Like y'all, just ignorance everywhere. Who?
Yeah. Compression or depression?
Yeah.
Both. You know, it's all retarded, dude. Like,
And did you see the? I mean, real quick.
yeah.
But did you see the like what happened to what the hell's going on?
What?
Everybody keeps leaving.
Uh-oh. Bye.
I'm here.
Did you see what happened with like CNN and BuzzFeed and all that they started tweeting
Yeah,
and
it's
like
been a whole shit show.
they've been going on and on about Donald Trump and this golden shower, like the
Yeah,
hashtag
yeah.
golden shower,
Yeah,
whatever.
so what was that about? I didn't really
It
quite
was the
catch
4chan troll.
People that allegedly some 4chan troll came up with this story, leaked it to BuzzFeed, and BuzzFeed was just like, "Yeah, we can't verify it. We don't know if it's true. We're just gonna let you decide." And they put out this fucking fake ass story about how apparently Donald Trump went to Russia and pissed on prostitutes in the bed that Michelle and Obama slept in. And I shit you not, that's the story.
But then CNN and New York Times
Yeah.
all that ran with it.
They ran with it.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, going, this right here should tell anybody that quotes like New York Times or CNN. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, why are you quoting these people that will just literally run with anything? Like they've been made a mockery of. I don't. It blows my mind. Like that just. I mean, that's kind of like what that type of thing is like what happens in this whole console community too, is that somebody says something and then bam, everybody runs with it.
We heard that Scorpio is gonna be fucking it. We heard Scorpio this. We heard the Xbox is gonna fucking suck your dick. And like, it doesn't. None of this stuff is real. You're just looking for confirmation bias.
Yeah,
That's all it is confirmation bias.
all those type of people just need to leave social media and leave it to the actual adults that can actually have conversations that deal with differing opinions.
Ding dong.
Hello?
Like, I mean, think about it though. Like, that kind of mentality exists in the gaming community. I mean, how does that make you feel, Rambo, to know that retards exist?
It infuriates me. Like I've had a long stance like look on abortion. But they like dealing with these people like have literally made me question that stance.
What are you saying,
Like, damn,
Rambo?
there's a 68% chance your baby's gonna be an Xbox fanboy. We'll have an abortion. We have to make sure. He can't survive.
The fanboyism is so bad to the point is literally considered a disease.
It's a fucking epidemic, man.
It is. It's gotten at it. It's like exploded.
It's like real gangs and cults. People are so desperate because they're such pathetic people. Like they're so desperate to fit in with something, even if what it is that
An inanimate object.
I don't think tweaker problems are as bad as some of these Twitter fuckers.
I don't think so
I don't
either.
think-
And I've dealt with my share of tweakers, but no, like not even remotely close. Like I would rather deal with like a room full of tweakers than I would a room full of like fanboys.
Did we just?
5 autistic
Did
mean
you-
motherfuckers on Twitter.
Did you guys just like say tweakers were of a higher standard than fucking Xbox, dude?
Yes.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
they have more common
You could
sense.
throw a ball of crack and they'll run away. These fuckers never give up.
Oh my god, this is fucked. It's hilarious because everybody knows how I feel about tweakers, and you guys just, yeah. What the fuck?
I probably feel the same way about him, but just to put it in a perspective for you, I mean, it's becoming like it's going to be classified very shortly, like in the DSM-4 whatever, as a mental illness. I mean, you're going to be able to claim disability on this pretty soon.
No disability because I love Xbox.
That's God damn it! What the fuck?
Like whenever you have to go in front of your, in front of the board at Social Security, they're gonna be like, I don't know if I believe you. Do you have any references? Like, here's my Twitter handle.
Here's my YouTube channel.
Here's my Twitter.
This is
my
my
YouTube.
6-hour podcast.
Go check it out. And like within the like the day, they're gonna call you back. Look, you're getting the maximum amount, and we're
Like,
gonna
you're really fucked up. Here's so much money.
We're retro paying you back to the beginning of the generation.
Yeah.
It's getting way like too far out of hand. I mean, I remember back in the day. I mean, I don't know if it would have been different if we would have had social media back in the Nintendo Sega days. It could have been. I mean, the hindsight's 20/20 on that, but
the suicide rate would be much higher.
I just remember back then, like us talking shit, like back and forth or whatever. But it was like always in jest, and like say if I like you were a Sega guy and I was a PlayStation or a Nintendo guy, we would have, we'd talk shit back and forth. But if you were like around like my neighborhood, you'd be like, you'd come over and we'd all have fun on the Nintendo, or vice versa. But now it's like these people will almost burn your house down because you have a PlayStation inside your house, or vice versa, that you have an Xbox inside your house. And it just, when did it become to the point of like what Rag said earlier, to where it's almost like the Bloods and Crips.
It is.
They'll definitely dox you and call your job. That's been proven, right, Mooch?
Yeah. I think Mooch actually, from what I hear, Mooch actually did get fired.
Did he really?
Why? He did?
Yeah, from what I mean, they took his from what people said is that website that the Coldwell, that employment website,
Yeah.
that had his name and picture and everything on there. His name and everything is removed from it.
Oh, that's not right.
No, but I don't know if it's because that people called, or did like people call and that made the company start checking into his Twitter.
Or did he ask him to be removed from it so nobody would call him again or whatever? Possibly,
but I don't know if that would work for a company. I mean, like I could imagine walking up to your boss and saying, "Look, man, I've been talking too much shit about PlayStation.
These Twitter trolls really got me, man."
Yeah, you're like, you've been doing what? It's like I was kind of talking smack about people who play on the PlayStation. Like, what is that?
Like, what is a PlayStation? Like, what are you talking about?
How old are you, Jerry? How old are you?
I couldn't imagine what happened to walk up to my boss and say that. At that point, I would rather quit and go find another one rather than have to ask my boss, like, "Look, man, I said too much shit about the Xbox fan base. They're after me now."
But like, honestly, though, like, I mean, I hope he didn't lose his job.
I hope he didn't either. But I mean,
like, that's called the Xbox Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
They exist. I think they definitely exist, and I think that the BGST is probably like the head of the head mafiosos or whatever. Because, I mean, well, look at that guy that peed on his console. I mean, he basically said that he took it down because his big boss, Next Gen, said to take it down.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Koala Bear tells you to do something. You got to do that shit.
And like what? At what point do you have to? I don't know. That just so that was like sickening to me. Like the fact that the whole thing was like just disgusting. But the fact that this guy, grown man, called another man his big boss, it was like, what the hell?
He is big.
Well, yeah, but
he's a big old koala bear with freckles.
I've noticed, but you know, it's funny. Like, if you've watched any podcasts recently, like, they've been sort of at each other's throats, like, a lot. Dude, like, D the other night was, like, flipping out on BGST shit. Like he actually kind of snapped.
Who did?
D, I guess his name is. D.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy that.
Yeah, he kind of, like, Grimpachi's been sort of, like, uploading videos, and I was watching one of those videos, and then I went to the actual podcast. And, like, it seems like and that's not the only time I've seen this. This is actually on, like, 2 or 3 other occasions that this has happened, where, like, one of their members, whether it's Mooch or D or Even B Shadows, like he's a huge Xbox guy, but even he's kind of like, you know, trying to speak up against the monotony here on YouTube, and I think that whole community is really trying. It's like really like decay.
Imploding on itself.
It's like imploding. Yeah, they're like decaying from the inside out. It's weird. Like it's refreshing to see. I mean, I've been wanting that to happen for a long time.
It's bound to happen. I mean, you can only go on with this for so long. I mean, and it was kind of shocking to me. Next Gen did a podcast or one of the live streams or whatever, like immediately after the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing the game and I was like, well, shit, I'll click on it and see what does he got to say. And he was like seriously talking, like not really doom and gloom, but he was like, look, I got to call this. This is bullshit. You know, I mean, he was like calling it out, going like, look, I'm an Xbox guy through and through, but he's like, we can't stand for this. This is bullshit. Like we gotta. And then all of a sudden, like the rest of the BGST is like going, oh, that's great, man. It's the best thing ever. We've been asking for them to cancel this game, and like they just finally listened to us. Like, thank God.
Yeah. Thank God. This whole time we've been begging them to cancel it. Just check out all the tweets, all those videos of us saying, "Oh, we totally went. Let's go on, gone."
So I mean, it's only a matter of time before like those two ideologies like clash, because one's willing to call it out, the other one's like
still willing to play it off like it's nothing.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I could go check that out. I'm subscribed to Grimpachi, but for some reason, like his videos don't ever show up.
You have to bell them, bro. That's the new thing. You gotta bell them.
You know what it's kind of like? They're kind of like the alt-right. Serious. They're kind of like the alt-right. Here's why. Right? Like the alt-right has a bunch of just like normal people who are just like, okay, we're just kind of in the alt-right, and you know, okay. And then they realize that, oh shit, they're like actual neo-Nazis here. And they're coming to this realization of how insane it is. And so they want to like get out, you know, but they don't know how to like get out because they kind of like the group. But now there's two different groups. It's like a civil war.
Well, everybody like there's been a few videos going around talking about how there's going to be a civil war within the Xbox community, as far as YouTuber community.
A fucking war, really?
But apparently apparently like if what you're saying is true, then it's actually happening.
Fucking hilarious.
I hope so. I want them to have guns and knives and fucking bombs.
Like actual murders over Xbox.
Like a true fucking civil war.
Give them every weapon they can possibly fucking imagine.
You guys are twisted this episode, Jesus.
No, these aren't. These aren't people. It's fine.
But we have to actually have somebody there to film it, because we got to upload that shit to YouTube. I want to be able to see this.
Jesus. Fucking A, dude.
It's quite interesting. I mean the PlayStation, like they have the PlayStation Legions, like basically what I consider the BGST of the PlayStation side. But in all honesty, I mean, as far as like, yeah, I mean, like other than like Rags, like getting the constant tweets from like JTech or whatever.
In between the blocks, yeah. So here's a picture of Mads Mikkelsen. Like, okay.
They're not as loud as like BGST is. Like nobody really goes to them and pays attention to them enough to where you see a bunch of their like messages and tweets, or over Twitter. So there's really not anybody like quote unquote the heading up the PlayStation fanboy side. So it's going to be interesting. Like what are we going to be actually left with true Xbox gamers on YouTube? That would be nice.
People who are going to be standing alive are the people who are just like, you guys fight it out over there and you guys do your thing. Okay. We're just playing on our fucking Xbox.
Give them a nice square place like Utah and just a bunch of fucking weapons.
It's so easy to build a fence around Square Place. Oh shit, it's so easy.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, there's nothing in Utah anyway, so just let them do their thing.
What, there's Mormons there? Just give them that.
Yeah, it's like, go hang out with the Mormons. Please.
Mormons are fun anyways.
But I mean, with the Mormons, I mean, the women are going to definitely outnumber the men because they have like several wives. So they don't even have to worry about too much of a resistance there.
God, it's like it's bad enough there's one woman in your life. Imagine like fucking 5 fucking cunts always yelling in your ear. Yeah, you didn't turn the stove on. Who's
You
gonna
didn't
paint
spend
the
time with me.
outhouse? Who's brushing the horse's ass? And I was like, oh fuck. Shit. Oh, the MSI Radeon RX 480 is available for $160.
Is it the 8
Holy
gig or the
shit.
4 gig?
4 gig. It's the MSI Radeon 480 Armor 4G OC. It's a lot of letters, numbers.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What's in the news? Let me see. Xbox boss wants to keep taking risks despite scale-bound cancellation. Okay. Let me know about. Let me know how it turns out. For Honor Season Pass. Who cares? Mount Play 2. Cooler Master. 1,200 watt power supply for $1,000. Easy. Yeah. I'll work extra hard to never let you down like this again, says Scalebound director after canceled game. Verdun adds ruthless kilt-wearing Scotsman in free update. Okay. N++. I need to see how much N++ is. Oh boy.
Somebody just tweeted for the whole, in terms of the PC online is free and consoles are $50 argument. Can't you just pay $5.83 per month instead of paying up front? Like, well, what is that?
Well, you still
What-
pay. It's just how much you pay and how often.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
You
like,
still
what's the
have to
difference? What's the, I mean, you're actually like, yeah, I'm paying per
Probably
month,
losing
but
money.
I mean, you're actually losing even more money by paying per month.
Imagine you have a friend on the Xbox, right? And you play on PC and you guys love Gears of War. And you guys want to play Gears of War together cross-plat, right? Imagine you want to do that. Imagine being in the same game, right? On the same fucking server, the same character shooting the same guns at the same whatever they're shooting at in this Gears of War, fill in the blank. Imagine doing all that and then explaining to him, by the way, to do this, it was free for me, but you have to pay. So you justify that to yourself however you feel like it. Because we're doing the exact same thing, except it's free for me.
Yeah, it doesn't. It does.
And there was this, what is this from Kind of Funny Games? Another one of those channels that has a subscriber account, but hardly anything.
They're
There was this
PlayStation
Colin Moriarty. He's basically defending the fact you have to pay to play your games online. I'm gonna make a video on this later after I get done with Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah, he said it was like
So-
a good service, right?
Yeah, he was saying shit like, "Oh, it's such a dumb argument. Oh, it's so stupid. Think of all the value you get." Look, if you don't look, first off, quit calling them free games. They're not free games. If you have to pay not only to get them, but you have to keep paying in order to keep them, they're not free. All right. Not only are they not free, but there's strings attached. Okay. So you can't pick the games. The games are oftentimes not even worth getting anyway. And I like people tweet me the lists of games, and like this is the list of the games they get, and you can go online and you can look at the lists, and it's dumb. Let me see if I can scroll on and find it. I really want to find it because it's like a bunch of games that no one cares. Saying they're not all bad or anything, but there's a lot of games that no one cares about because you can't pick which ones you get. You get whatever you get. The January PlayStation games of the month, that video that PlayStation released is so fucking negative. So negative because it was like Day of the Tentacle and this War of Mine, games that whether you like them or not, most people just don't give a flying fuck about. Right? So, and the thing was, before they even started giving you games, you still had to pay. Right? So it just goes to show that they don't need to charge you, and now they're just trying to come up with different ways to try and justify it to you.
Not with PlayStation though.
Well,
like with Xbox, you always had to like before they started giving you games, you were still paying to play online. But with PlayStation, you actually got to play online for free, and the only reason that you actually paid was to get the games and like discounts on special discounts or whatever for being a member. But now it's required.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list here. Killer Instinct Season 2 Ultra Edition. World of Van Helsing Death Trap. Outlast. Sleeping Dogs. Murdered Soul Suspect. Super Dungeon Bros. The Escapists.
Sleeping Dogs is good.
Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings.
That's a good
Assassin's
one,
Creed
too.
Chronicles China. Earthlock Festival of Magic, WWE 2K16, Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, Tumblestone. People don't give a shit about these games. Well, I do, Rags. Shut up.
I do, Rags.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that I do.
I mean, you don't get to pick this shit.
No, I don't
Like,
ever.
you better hope that you like them, or else you're not getting your money's worth. It's like, why don't they let you pick games? Because they're trying to justify the fact that you have to pay for this stupid service when it doesn't cost them a dime to run.
It's just a bonus.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all.
like with me, like if like you say, like I'm not getting my money's worth, but I mean, like that's January. So like, but January I liked basically.
That wasn't January.
Oh no, I'm just saying like the ones for PlayStation, as far as like the Day of the Tentacle and stuff. Like you were reading off Xbox's ones, but the Day of the Tentacle and this is whatever. Like let me actually look at it because I have it downloaded.
And you're saying it's a bonus. Like they did some bullshit that you shouldn't have to pay for anyway, and there's no reason to pay for it. And then they added something to it to try and justify the fact you paid in the first place, and you're calling it a bonus.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
That's how deep it is.
Well, I just never look at the games list as far as like, yeah, I've never looked at it as far as like, yeah, I'm wanting specific games or anything. I just take whatever they give me because to me, like they're usually adding to the games that I don't have already. Like they're giving me games that I don't have. So to me, that makes me happy, regardless if it's if it's some little game or a big game. If I don't have it, and you give it, and I got it now, then that's just an extra game for me. Like so, whenever I get bored with like the games that I do have, then I actually have something else to try out or play, and maybe get exposed to a genre or something that I wouldn't have otherwise tried.
It's a complete choice to pay for the service, and you're right. You don't have to. You shouldn't have to. But if you have fun with it, then why not?
I guess people can justify anything.
Well, like
No,
with me,
I'm not justifying it, man.
You just did.
No, I didn't.
You literally
I
just
said
did.
if you have fun with something, why not, buy into it?
There you go. Right there.
That's actually a good question, though. Why? Well, why not? I mean, look, we could sit here and say it's a ripoff all day, and for the most part, I believe it is now that PC as far as Origin.
It's like tell me they're not taking the multiplayer of games you've bought with internet you've paid for on a system that you've bought. Tell me they're not taking multiplayer and holding it hostage behind a paywall.
Completely, I completely agree.
yeah, I agree with that.
There you go.
But but as far as like getting my monies back, I mean I am in a way because like I said, those two games there, that was like what, $30 between this War of Mine and Day of the Tentacle remastered, and then that's just January. So here we go. I have basically 10 more months, 11 more months.
You're really not getting your money back though,
for them
are
to
you?
give. Well, I mean, why wouldn't I be? I mean, I'm
Because
getting.
You're not getting any money back, are you?
I'm not getting any money back, but I'm not getting any money back when I go to buy a game.
Yeah, but when you buy a game, that's different than buying some service to access parts of a game that have been cut off from you. You're paying twice for the game. I mean, you're not getting your money's back. You're not getting, you could say you might be getting your money, but that's only really true if you were going or you had committed to have already tried to buy all the games that they were going to try and give you for free. Only in that circumstance can you actually legitimately say you are getting your value's worth.
Well, I guess in a technicality way, but I mean, to me, I just look at it like if I give somebody money and well, just basically almost like giving a loot crate. I'm giving loot. If I give loot crate money, I don't because I'm not into trinkets or whatever. But they send you shit through each month. But I mean, there might be some months that the whole loot crate thing is like just shit, and you throw it away. But the next month you might get like, oh shit, I really like this. I want to keep it.
Yeah,
And-
but the difference is though,
like the difference is you've already bought the crate. You just can't get half of what's in the crate, sometimes even more, until you pay again.
And
Yeah.
and the second part I was gonna say was, you don't stop paying for Loot Crate and they come and take Loot Crate products out of your house. That's kind of
It's like and if you stop paying for Loot Crate, they come to your house and take it all back.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't really play quote unquote online. I mean, I do to a degree. But as far as like somebody asked me today, like, do you play Uncharted 4? Like, yeah, I play it, but I mean, I have yet to actually boot up Uncharted 4 online, because to me, I'm more of a trophy hunter, single player. You know, just go after as many, play the games that I want.
Achievement.
Which,
whore.
well, the games that I like generally are story-driven games, like that kind of like take me out of the the current world I'm in and kind of put me into a different world and let me do that with the story, like a very heavy narrative-driven story. When it comes to multiplayer, I don't find it as much fun because I have people in my ear. So I like multiplayer is like the least of my concern, the least of my worries. Like if I have to go into multiplayer to get some trophies, then I might do that. But for the most part, like here I am sitting in a house with 4 PlayStations that I can play online with my kids or whatever. I just don't do it.
See, if this is about value,
so
if this
to
is
me, I
about
just-
value,
Like
what would
what
happen to
Rex
the
is
amount of
saying.
subscribers? Take the people who have Xbox Live, for instance, right? They pay for Xbox Live Gold. What would happen if they said, okay, well, you get to play your games for free, but if you want the Xbox Live service to get the games, now you just pay for those? What would happen to the amount of people who paid for Xbox Live? You know how much it would catastrophically plummet. But it's that second part that they're trying to say, oh, we'll get here, take this. This is value. This is your bonus. They're imagine how many people would drop out of the service if they could play their games online multiplayer and didn't have to pay, and all that extra whatever stuff. That was what was behind the paywall. That was the service that they paid for.
No, I will imagine.
I'd be willing to say 90% of people would stop paying.
What if all you got was the quote unquote free games and discounts?
Yeah.
I would still subscribe.
I would still subscribe.
Yeah, well, you'll buy 6 PlayStation 4s.
But I subscribe. I was trying to like, that's what I was explaining is that my subscription for my PlayStation Plus is mainly for like whatever games they're going to give me to where I can, it gives me something else to play. As far as like, and there's usually indies, which that's the reason why I kind of like the PlayStation Plus. To me, PlayStation Plus provides me more value than Xbox Live because Xbox Live here lately has been giving AAA games, which I already own most of those.
Right. So what are you paying for?
Like personally, me, the way I'm looking at it, I'm paying for whatever games that they give me.
All right.
And the discounts.
But
If you don't get those games, what are you at? What is that money going towards? Right.
Like
Because
what
we've
is
had
PlayStation doing it?
We've
doing
had
with it?
both of these
and
services.
service. He's saying
Both of
services
these
in
services.
general. Yeah.
What is where has all that money gone?
I have no earthly idea. I more than likely just in their pocket. That's the only thing I know of. I don't really know where it's gone. There's no
because we know
any better.
Yeah, because we know that the upkeep is basically nothing. Maybe the upkeep for these services are basically nothing, right?
Well,
because we know that Steam and stuff and all these other services and third-party servers and Ubisoft and Uplay and all that stuff, we know they don't charge, right? So we know that the upkeep on this stuff is without a doubt no problem at all. So let me
ask you something. Because I've tried playing some multiplayer on Steam. Now the way that whenever I first got onto PC, I didn't really know anybody or whatever. So I went into my first game I think to play online was like The Division. And so The Division had like on consoles, like if you were online and you were playing The Division, you couldn't you just had the headset on or whatever. And if you were close enough to somebody, then they could hear you, you could hear them. It was almost like kind of like a real life type thing. Like if you were on the other side of the city, then the people on the other side couldn't actually hear you talking online. And so y'all got closer. So whenever I got on PC, I was like right behind everybody. And I was like talking to people and trying to visit with them or get them to play. And like nobody would talk. But I found out that like to play, like to chat and like that, you go into like Discord or Skype or whatever like that. Does Steam? I have yet to actually see anybody on Steam like to where I'm in a multiplayer game without being in Discord or Skype or another third party thing for talk. Actually, just talk in amongst themselves in the actual game.
You really haven't, because that happens to me all the time.
No, I really haven't. Like whenever I played Battlefield, I didn't hear anybody like whenever I was playing Battlefield like by myself, just playing Battlefield. I didn't hear anybody. But the only time I was actually capable of or actually talking to anybody was whenever I was in Discord talking with y'all.
Because while I've actually most of this podcast I've been playing Vermintide and I haven't been able to talk to people talking to me.
I've yet to actually come across anybody to talk. I mean,
okay, well back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
When did Xbox Live start?
2002,
Like,
I want to say.
02?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have all these millions of gamers who have for all these years been putting all this money into the service. Where's all that money going? Like if I was able to look, because I remember I played for Xbox Live for years and years too. Where is all these? I mean, you would think that with all of that backing up all that cash that they could invest right back into the infrastructure of these services, they would just be top notch.
They'd never get DDoS or
They'd
hacked.
never get DDoS. They'd never get hacked. They'd never get dropped. They'd have all these dedicated servers. They'd have all this. They would just be the best things ever.
oh well, yeah.
Here's something to take note in, and this goes to everybody. This also helps the point. Every single time that Sony and Microsoft has ever reported the numbers, they've always reported both services at a profit margin. I just want to put that out there. I want that to
Oh,
sink
hell
in.
yeah, these services are at a profit.
Yep. I just want to put that out there. Sink in
Oh,
there.
hell yeah. This
Yep.
stuff is basically pure profit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can.
Because they're just like,
but,
these people will pay for anything.
but when it
So
comes
we just
to
charge
like
these
what,
people to play their own games online for servers that we don't even
when it comes to
buy
like what,
anything.
like what Shaner was saying was about the PSN. I played like big time. I was like the PSN on the PS3 or whatever, but it actually has improved quite a damn bit between PS3 to PS4. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell they have put money into it. I would not say that they put the
Well, that's because they went from zero money to.
well, no, they had a lot of people like subscribe to PS Plus back then, but it was for free games and
Yeah.
discounts. Like
that's why I
there was a
said
lot
I
of people
would-
subscribing.
That's why I said I would still subscribe if you could play your games online for free, because with the amount of games that I buy digitally, the discount you get with Xbox Live, it'll pay for itself.
And same thing with the PlayStation Plus. Like you get the discounts are a pretty damn good discount. Like when it comes to, especially when they go on the big sales. Like they're like the regular people that don't pay for Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus get a price, but then that's discounted from the regular price. But then the really deep discount is for like the Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus members, which make up for. I mean, like that difference between paying $59.99 and paying like sometimes $19.99 for it, it pays for itself in that retrospect. But then you tack in some games also that they give you that you like and that you know, hey, I don't have to spend the $30 or whatever for it, and that's another bonus, like another return on the money.
So I guess I don't know if this would be 100% accurate, but if anything, we could say thank you to the PS4 and Xbox Live services for making Ubisoft, sites like Origin, sites like Good Old Games, and Green Man Gaming for giving away free games. And literally, I mean that, free, because you're not paying into them. So.
Oh, that's definitely like the free games
so
on PC are true free games.
If there's anything to be positive, I'm saying that would be it. That would
And
be the
remember how long
positive.
it took for like Xbox Live, for instance, to let you to make services like Skype and Netflix and things to where you didn't have to pay gold to use those, even though you already paid for them or they were free.
Yeah, that was dog shit.
That was some bullshit.
And what was that again?
Oh, they
How-
used to make you pay for Skype and shit because it was behind.
Oh.
gold
Yeah,
and
you used
whatnot.
to have.
Oh,
to
I
have
didn't know-
gold
I didn't
to
know
watch
Skype-
Netflix, yeah.
Oh, I never knew that Skype was like where you had to pay or whatever. Like, were you talking about Xbox or are you talking
Well,
about like
yeah,
the PC?
Yeah,
Xbox.
Xbox.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Xbox.
Xbox.
Oh yeah, up until like 2015, I think Skype and Netflix and all that was still behind the paywall. So like you were already paying a subscription to like to Netflix, but you still couldn't watch Netflix if you didn't pay for Xbox Live.
What if all the canceled
was-
games they meant they're not really canceled? You have to pay Xbox Live for them.
Oh, that would be the true test of the
There's
community.
there's
wouldn't it?
a special subscription for canceled games.
That would be. They would probably make a fortune out of it.
People will pay for anything.
People do pay for anything.
Yeah, I mean well, fuck. I mean, there's people paying, I think it's $1,000 a bottle of air from Switzerland or whatever. These women just go around and with empty bottles or these old mason jars or whatever, put a lid on it while they're out in the open and sell it for like I think it's either 100 or 1,000. I know it's one of the two.
I've seen a bag of Kanye West concert air sell on eBay for a couple of $1,000s.
Yeah, I mean
So-
it's people will literally pay for anything. I mean, I would rather pay for like PSN or Xbox Live rather than somebody's air. But I mean, there's somebody out there who will pay for whatever kind of crazy shit that anybody does. I mean, somebody's gonna pay for it.
Like, Rags, you have so many subscribers, you could fart into a Ziploc bag and someone will give you $20 for it. No
Sure,
I guarantee,
someone
yeah, I guarantee somebody on
Right.
your subscriber list would do it. Or if you went to YouTube Gaming, like if you put shit on YouTube Gaming, that's like for your subscribers to pay like a fee, and then they are able to get like this exclusive content or whatever. I don't think that you actually get any money from the YouTube Gaming. I think YouTube does, but it's still like a special way for, I don't know. I don't really know how specifically it works, but people would do it. I mean, the content, I don't know why. I haven't figured it out, but people pay for that service just to not have like the commercials or the ads pop up. But I'm thinking, man, they have skip ad. I don't bother me that much. Or ad blocker.
Well.
But I don't know. I mean, I won't ever argue against like with you saying that that the PC is better in that retrospect. I will never argue against that because I know it is. But I'm also not going to like put down because I would willingly pay. I do willingly pay for Xbox Live and PSN because of the extra things that happen to it. Not so much for playing online, but just the extra things that come from it.
I, however, will not buy Xbox Live from Microsoft.
Oh no, I usually
Penguin.net all the
Yep.
time, every time I need it.
well see I got mine in 2014 or 15 during Christmas time. Best Buy had a sale on PSN and Xbox Live for I think like $20 for a year, and I bought the hell out of it. Like mine, I think mine's good till like 2019 or 2020 on both of them. But like the price hike on PlayStation Plus has not affected me yet, because I mean it won't affect me I think until for another 2 or 3 years. But I'll never buy it directly from the company, but I'll buy it just at a discounted rate wherever I can get it the cheapest.
Hey, you guys know how he said 90% of people wouldn't play?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the poll that I just ran is running at exactly 90% wouldn't play.
Nice.
Only 41 votes. So
But
it'll shift.
that's the thing though, is like, because it always kills me that like whenever Xbox guys run a thing about going, which one would you rather do, Gears of War or Uncharted? Well, you're an Xbox guy. You have more primarily Xbox followers. If
Yeah.
a lot of them come back with Uncharted,
I specified if you play on console.
right? But I that's
Well,
like
let me
that's
ask
like
you this,
saying
Rags.
people.
If Steam charged for you to play their games online, would you pay?
Is Steam?
If every service, Steam, Uplay, or in Origin, all charged, would you pay, or would you just not play online ever again?
Everywhere, or if every service did?
If every service did, yes. If there was not a place to play on PC online without paying for a service, would you pay?
If everyone was the same in that regard, that changes the landscape.
Yeah, see?
Well, no, that change. If everyone's the same, and that's not a huge advantage that one side had this entire time. That would just change everyone's
Let's just say
mindset.
every platform charged $5 a month to use their service online. Would you pay for the ones you like to play?
I'd have to look into it. Not really. I'd have to see where the money's going.
No,
the
no, it's
improvements
just
to it.
it's just funny because like if we're dealing with hypothetics, then hypothetically you would have to believe that everybody's mindset wouldn't be current today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you applied that reasoning, then the industry attitude would be completely different, and I wouldn't be the same person making that decision.
It's like the butterfly effect.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
So this isn't
But-
just one. So what I was asking is a change to a service that already exists that
Mhm.
people are aware of. That's all. It doesn't affect everything, because once you take away that last domino, then everything changes. Then it's just different.
but I mean, to them, well, I mean, it was kind of like the whole PlayStation thing. They went from
Plus,
PS3 to
and
PS4
plus
without
that
having.
that scenario has already happened, and it was rejected by PC gamers because Games for Windows Live.
Well, yeah, but I mean that was just one
What-
scenario. So I mean, you had an alternative.
Does Games for Windows Live, what did they ever have to offer? I'm talking about Steam. Steam is the greatest library of PC games ever. So let's say they started charging. Would you pay or stop using Steam?
Currently,
I don't
then.
know.
It would have to be a current basis.
Current,
then.
Yeah.
if it like tomorrow,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
no, I wouldn't.
You
Fair
wouldn't
enough.
pay.
No, I
You would
wouldn't
just
pay.
you just
And
wouldn't.
neither
pay,
would
you
everyone
just
else,
wouldn't-
because I know that it would just get reversed because we don't put up with that shit. So I wouldn't pay, and most people wouldn't pay. I mean, 90% of people wouldn't pay. So
I mean, it is
just wouldn't
technically
do it.
it is technically the reason why like Windows 10 when they launched, they said that PC was going to be free because they knew for a fact that if it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
going to
mean,
be free, then it was going to be
they got
like
shat
a
on
repeat
before.
of. It was going to be.
look what happened with paid mods. Paid mods lasted what, 2 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days and it was done, and they lost money for all that shit. So would I pay for it? No, I would go to someone else. I would go to somewhere else. Origin still does all their stuff. Other services would pop up to counter it, and Steam couldn't to be competitive. Everyone would just buy single player games, and God knows I need a reason to keep up on everything anyway. I mean that just would be such a suicidal decision to make, especially with the precedents that we have.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
I
it
know.
would be,
But
but
what I know.
but I to me, the way I look at it, like the people paying for it, like I would never try to convince somebody like not to, because like everybody knows that you can play online for free on PC, but just because I mean like that wouldn't like.
Unless you're one stop for gamers.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I don't. Like, he's a special one, so I mean, we just kind of.
Oh shit!
He's like the exception to the
someone
rule.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm at 9,998. Come on, let's do it. 10K. Let's go to 10K followers.
9,990.
98.
Twitter.com/yourpalrags.
You're right. Come on, do it. Do it, faggots.
But like to me, like there's nothing wrong with. I mean, if a person does not want to play on PC, and they're not being the BS people like saying like, look, the
Yeah, I'm not
PC
saying
is
you're a
too
bad
expensive.
person for it. I'm just saying you're getting taken advantage of.
Well, I'm sure they realize that, but at the same time, is like they're if they're comfortable with it, it's no big deal to them. Like
I mean, I'm just saying that if everyone got together and decided they weren't going to pay for it, and then, but that's not how it works.
Here's the
that's not how
thing.
people work, so.
Let me put it this way. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, if there was a market share on the console community that said, fuck Microsoft and Sony, we will not pay for this. And it was a noticeably large market share, one that was, say, numbers could not be ignored, then and only then would I stop paying for this.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. If they just said we weren't going to pay up for it, they just turn it on.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
it's basically just a switch.
So-
That they say, okay, you don't have to pay.
and so
anymore.
meanwhile,
That's it.
And so meanwhile, as long as until that happens, people we're just gonna keep paying for it because we
But-
know that if we stop paying for it, all we're doing is cheating ourselves out of say sales, some really good. And let's be honest, sometimes those sales are really good. Sometimes they are worth a damn. It all really depends on your taste. Like I said, if it was a noticeable market share that said "fuck you," then I'd join. I would jump right on it and say "fuck you" too. But until
Yeah,
that happens, we're hosed.
But look at all the retardation and the mean autistic motherfuckers fanboys on Twitter. That's never gonna happen. You can't get these guys together for a fucking beer. I mean,
well, you definitely sure can't get them together to speak out against their daddy company.
that's what I said. They
Um,
need fucking bombs and guns in a square state.
And so, and I mean, a lot of these casuals follow, like
That's where the wall needs to be.
they watch, they they watch them on YouTube because whenever, like, if I'm just an casual Xbox gamer, and you're going through YouTube like you're a kid, you know, at home or whatever, well, you see these people that come up when you type in Xbox or whatever, they get you these people are the ones that come up top of the thing, and so that's where you're gonna click on, and they are infecting like the small casuals like that are out there. So I mean, they're justifying the purchase, they're justifying the thing, so that then the regular casual that really had no opinion on it before now has a strong opinion on it, saying, look, it's a good thing, it's the best because so and so said so. I don't know why, but that's just, you know, they've taken on that mindset of the fanboy without actually truly being a fanboy. They just, because that's just who they watch and who they see. I don't think you'll ever get anybody. I would love it to see like people go back to like where it was like kind of like the PlayStation 3 days where, hey, pay, you know, we're just gonna do it to where you can pay, like what you said, pay to get the games and the discounts, but if you don't want to,
like
that's
EA
fine.
Access. Like that
Yeah.
would be something. Like EA Access for a lot of people is totally worth it. But
Yeah,
that's because they're giving up the potential sales for saying, okay, you get all these games, you do this, kind of like how PS Now works. It's like, well, instead of doing this, we'll let you do this.
EA Access is only worth it at a yearly rate.
And see that, but that's a crazy thing with EA Access is like with me, Origin Access is like the better deal because it actually has more games. When you go to EA Access, if you are a sports fanatic, then it's a great deal because you get
for another Madden again.
Yeah, you'll never pay for another sports game again, like another EA sports game. But when it comes to the other games, I mean, they're very far and few between. I mean, they're not EA is really not known for their great single player games or whatever. They're mainly known for sports titles. So whenever PlayStation said, "Oh, we're not bringing," I mean, I'm not saying it's a great thing they did that.
Hey,
but when they said
give
it,
us Unravel, Rambo, the great yarn game.
This is true. When PlayStation came out and said we're not bringing EA Access to PlayStation, I didn't go, oh damn, like that sucks. I was really looking forward to. I understand like the reason why they should never have done that because they should have let just people decide. But it didn't hurt me at all because I was like, I don't play those sports titles anyway. I don't. That's the only thing. Whenever I think of EA, that's all I think of is Madden and.
I'm canceling my pre-order for Titanfall 2, guys.
Yeah, like. So it like. I mean, PlayStation definitely needs to look at like those kind of services. Like, I think that they didn't want to take the chance of it competing with PlayStation Now. But I'm not sure how. I'm not really sure how it would have competed with PlayStation.
Yeah,
Now.
I don't know either. I see when you have something like, I mean, they would still be playing the game on the PlayStation and using it. I mean, it's just, I guess it's them being dicks.
On that part, I will agree. Yeah,
It's them saying, "Oh yeah, this just isn't good." They're making business decisions for their consumers instead of letting consumers make it for themselves, and then saying, "Oh, this isn't good for gamers." By the way, the price of PS Plus is going up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there on that. Now, like their reasoning though was kind of weird.
Well, they said
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was
that massive profit margin we're making on this. Well, we're about to make it bigger.
I don't know if not the reasoning on the PlayStation Plus, the reasoning on the EA Access, like that. I'm not sure if I can't. It was a while back when all that happened, but I'm not sure if it was like EA that said that's what PlayStation said, or if PlayStation said it. But the gist was like that PlayStation didn't want their consumers or whatever getting confused, thinking that EA Access was like a Netflix for
that's stupid. Yeah, that's
video
bullshit.
games, and I'm thinking, well, I don't understand like how that. That didn't make any sense to me because it was basically is a Netflix.
Quote, they said, quote, "We don't think asking our fans to pay an additional $5 a month for this EA specific program represents good value to the PlayStation gamer." That means nobody gets it.
People love convenience and options.
Yeah, give people options.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have costed PlayStation anything. It's like to put it on there. So I don't understand like what the problem would have been. And I think that from what I understand, EA Access or EA actually only makes a certain small little portion off of the actual EA Access subscription, but Microsoft makes the rest. So, because whenever you have a problem with EA Access, you have to it directs you to Microsoft. To
Yeah,
ask
they
them the
said
question.
Sony said play, and this is why I fucking hate Sony. PlayStation, one of the reasons PlayStation Plus memberships are up more than 200% since the launch of PlayStation 4, which shows that gamers are looking for memberships that offer a multitude of services across various devices for one low price. The representative said, "We don't think asking our fans to pay an additional $5 a month for this EA-specific program represents good value to the PlayStation gamer. That's bullshit, and you know it because the reason the memberships are up more than 200% because you're forcing people to buy memberships to play games online."
That's true.
They're trying to spin it to say, oh, see, they're just looking for memberships that give people everything they want. No, bullshit. You're forcing people to buy these memberships to play their games online with their friends. You're double charging people for these games. You want people to double dip. Like, if you want people to, it sucks. It's like, don't make purchasing decisions for me, please.
And you know what's funny is, like, I love how they think they know how their customers perceive value. Like, you hear them say that a lot. You say they
it's
they
like,
don't
let
find
each
this as
individual person
invaluable to
determine their
them.
own value.
Exactly. Like, I don't
Don't say
understand
that this entire group needs to have, because remember, it's like Ben Shapiro says, you know, it's like if you have social justice, it competes with individual justice.
Yeah.
There is only justice of the individual. That's it. That's the only justice that there is. If you're going to have social justice, that means you're taking individual justice away from individuals and applying them to a large group, which is unjust. Same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying, oh, well, we're going to determine for every single person on the PlayStation that they do not have the option to determine whether or not this is a value for them. And for a lot of people, it absolutely would be. If you're into EA has a lot of games, and a lot of those games are damn good games. And a lot of those damn good games are damn good multiplayer games. You have all the Battlefields, and you have all the Maddens and the FIFA sports games. You have the Titanfalls.
Yeah.
And you're saying, oh, it wouldn't be a good value? Like, no. Of course it would for a lot of people be a great value. Just like Origin Access would be a great value for a lot of people. PlayStation Now would be a fantastic... If you are really into PlayStation 3 games, holy shit, the value of PlayStation Now, play a game, beat it, move on to the next game. Play a game, beat it, move on to the next one.
Especially with how their community presents itself, you would think that's what they did. You would think that these people, that's all they did. And it was like, okay, then why aren't you supporting it then if that's all you do? It's funny.
Oh, I think, yeah, I see the big value in PlayStation Now. Like I subscribe to it, and I
Yeah.
but that was like that was a choice or whatever. But then it also, like, why couldn't we have more choices? Like, it seems like that Microsoft also even said that they are looking for more third-party apps like EA Access. There was rumor at one time that Ubisoft was going to do something like that. So I mean, if you looked at that, I mean that if that happens like on Xbox, then I mean you have where you don't even have to buy an Assassin's Creed anymore. You don't have to buy like the Division or whatever. You can just sit back and pay a fee, and you wait like 6 months after release, and all of a sudden 6 to 8 months, and then it's then it's there for basically pennies on the dollar compared to what you would have spent on each game. But the way it looks like is that if Ubisoft does it and other people do it, PlayStation is just going to be like, nah, sorry.
And remember, the fact that they are making money by giving games away because they have your membership. They're making money on this because they know that a lot of people, because most people, especially based on the polling here, don't get the value that they want from the games themselves. That's why only right now it's 91% wouldn't pay with 148 votes. Right now, this means that it means two things. One, most people don't get the value. If you do get the value from it, I can understand that. I can understand it. If you really get the value from it, if you play a lot of games, you're interested in all sorts of genres, if you want to get these games, buy them, move on, fair enough, that's one thing. But what it also says is that they're charging the 100% for the sake of the 9%. That's basically what it comes down to. They're using this as a method to make sure that the 91% right now who wouldn't pay keep paying.
Well, yeah, because I think that makes more. I think that service makes more money than a lot of the actual games that they sell or their consoles in general. I think that
Well,
that's
I don't.
it's just
I
almost
don't
pure
think.
profit for them.
I don't even think that. I think they're just trying to give people. They're trying to give a justification for the reason as to why they're getting so much money for these services and to connect to the services that they don't own. Because the playing games online, again, there's no reason for them to charge people for that. But the giving the games away for free, again, like I said, that is why 91% say they wouldn't pay for the service if they couldn't do that. And
It's a
that's
way
the
to
part that
it's
makes them
a
all their money.
it's a way to trick the consumers into thinking that you're actually paying for something.
Pretty much for a lot of people. Now there are some people who actually do play those games,
Yeah.
but the
I
vast
mean-
majority here don't. So they should have this service be separate. I mean, here's what they, of course, this is a silly consumer thinking of it from my perspective. I mean, well, of course, Steam does it. You know, go to Steam and Origin and all they do it too. But if you have a service where, because the profit margin that comes from them charging people to play online is practically insanely, it's insanely high. Right? The cost is so low and they get so much money for doing it. It's just insane, right?
Oh yeah.
So and when they give away these games, I say give away in the colloquial sense of the term nowadays. If they're giving games away for the price of this membership, I mean, these are games that if they would make more money from having these games, man, these games are specifically chosen. They don't roll a die and you get random games. They are picking games that people wouldn't buy on their own and giving it to people so that they can say, you are having these games now. See, you're getting free
Or
games.
older games.
Yeah, it was like, how many people on the consoles are buying Mirror's Edge, the first one?
Right.
Like, how many people on the console? I mean, if I could go through that list again, and again, this has nothing to do with the quality of the games. It has nothing to do with quality. I'm sure some of those games are fantastic. I'm certain some of them are fantastic. But this is about selling games that people actually would buy.
Well, see, that's another thing that I've actually brought up with people is like when they compare like the Xbox Live games to the PlayStation Plus games, is that whenever they either one of them give away a AAA game, it's a game that's been like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
And so by then, like if you were really interested in playing that game,
yeah, it's out of its cell cycle.
When you've actually picked up that game by the 2 or 3 years, so. To me, that's the reason why, like I said, I kind of like the PlayStation Plus or whenever Xbox Live gives out indies, because those are the ones that I've seen and I thought about buying, but I'm like, I don't really want to spend $15 on this game and not it suck. When they give it away, it's like, okay, well, I got it now and I can play it, and I don't.
They give it away because no one was
$15.
buying it. That's why it's on the list. So you have like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I haven't played it, but I hear it's really cool. I hear it's really awesome. Now this is on the Xbox 360 version of games or I'm gonna say Games for Windows Live, Xbox Live, right? And this was just in like November of last year,
right?
So just a couple months ago. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. They say the retail price is $15. First off, bullshit. Second off, no one's paying that. No one's buying the game. That's why they could say that's the thing. That's what gets people so much when they tally up all these numbers, right? You say, oh look, the value. If this game is $15. And it is on a service like that, if they were making more money selling that game individually, it wouldn't be on this list.
Well, I don't like you're saying you're questioning like the retail price. The retail price is $15 like on Xbox Live or PSN. Like for some reason,
yeah, people aren't gonna. I mean, people aren't paying for it because it wouldn't be on this list.
Well, yeah, I mean, the prices, the digital prices on consoles don't drop like they do on PC. Because like the idea of a digital only type world hasn't really hit like it has on the PC. So the competition is fiercer for the companies on PC to discount their games and like make sales and make their product more, I guess, attractive to buy because of the cost. But on console, that's the reason why like the value of quote unquote the value of PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live is so high, because those prices don't drop.
Well, that's why if they take two games that are worth $15 for the month and say, see, you're getting a $30 value, like that assumes that you would have bought them in the first place at that price. Which if people were actually doing in appreciable amounts, if that was the case, they wouldn't be on that list. Doesn't matter if the game is good or not. It's about how much they're making from it.
Well, it's not 100% always that case because I mean, like sometimes they give
Well,
you
yeah,
a
I'm sure
brand,
they might
like
give
yeah,
you. Yeah, I'm
like
sure
brand new games.
sometimes they will chuck in a couple so that they could say, "See, you can get such, such and such."
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, because they
But
have to
those are
throw
the
you a bone
exceptions,
every
not
once
the
in a
rule.
while.
Yeah, they do absolutely.
Yeah.
But do I need to
Um,
remind you guys that a lot of these developers will actually manipulate their own prices on the market for when sales come up to make it look like they're getting a good sell. And this
And remember,
happens on both
Xbox
console and PC.
and
Well,
when
yeah,
these
I mean, well, that
games go
happens with
free,
that happens at every business. If you go to like a going out of sale business or everything's clearance, you go there and you can actually see something that you went there maybe the week before the clearance sale. It was actually less expensive then than what it was on clearance.
and remember too, imagine being this is one of the few reasons why I say few isn't. This is one of the numerous reasons why there are more games on PC, right? Imagine you are a developer and you work your heart and soul and put into a game and blah blah blah, and you make the decision to the amount of control that you lose when you put it on Microsoft or Sony's system and their platform. Imagine if you had a game like that and Microsoft calls you up one day and says, "By the way, that game, it's free for people now." People is like you have to the amount of compensation it would take for people to say, "Okay, it's free, but we get a certain amount." It's like this game effectively they're saying there is no longer a reason for all of these people to buy your game now because it's part of the free games, the quote unquote free games list now.
Yeah, but now here's a thought, and see what you think about this. Especially when it comes to like whenever like Xbox or PlayStation gives out the indie titles. We're just gonna say like the developers of like say This War of Mine. So you get this game free. You play it, you would never probably would have even thought about buying it or whatever, but you play it and you're like, oh damn, like that's actually a really good game. I like this. So the next time that this developer puts out another game, the chances of you actually buying that next game go up. I'm not saying that you're guaranteed to buy it just because you like the first one, but the chances of that actually happening, like if they never had given you that game, and then their second game would probably go unnoticed as well. But the more people are going to notice their second game if they like that free game that they were given. Much like look at Rocket League. I mean, nobody even thought about Rocket League ever even actually being a true. I mean, people actually made fun of it whenever PlayStation gave it away when it first came out on PlayStation. But I mean, it's became
How
like a
many people
phenomenon.
played the first Rocket League on PS3?
Rocket League was never on PS3.
Yes, it was. It was Supersonic Fury Battle Cars or something like that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't the same. I mean, it's not the same developers. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know
Yeah,
about who.
It's the same developers, dude.
I don't recall. I don't remember that game at all on PS3.
Oh, we're
but,
at 9,999. Come on, people.
but when it comes to like Rocket League, if you looked at it, it's actually there's more players playing, or more players have played Rocket League. I don't know if they're concurrent or not. Than Overwatch, and I forgot. Like, let me look at his name, but it was like and Destiny. Like Destiny had like 5 million more than what Rocket League had, and Rocket League had 10 million more than Overwatch. So I mean, that's a game. But I mean, now the next game that Rocket League puts out, the developers for it, is going to get much more attention than say if they would have never even given Rocket League away.
Yeah, but that's something now that it's true they'll get more attention. But in a case like that, if you're a developer, we always hear about devils in the details, right? I mean, you got to know the numbers of that. You've got to, because in a lot of cases, you've got to know how many people, what's the return on this? How many people buy this based on that? I mean, that's one of the, that's a theoretical sort of idea that
I mean,
you
was just talking.
absolutely. I bet for a lot of games it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, because if you look at Minecraft, right, when it first came out, like, not a whole lot of people were talking about it. And the only reason why it got its name out there is because they were giving copies away for free over on SourceForge and like PC Gaming Monthly. It was offered as a free-to-play, and it got so fucking popular, and it was never talked about, though. That was the funny thing. It had sort of like a sleeper cult with it. Like, no one knew what the fuck Minecraft was until, like, the third year it came out. And then a game
that didn't release on Steam.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking. I mean, it's still one of the number one played games to this day. I mean, and it never
Every
once
once in a
got
while, even I
critically
will play
acclaimed
it.
advertisements. And never once it was advertised, hardly ever, when it first came out. That's why I said nobody knew about it. But the game literally drove its community. It didn't. It wasn't the community that drove the game. It was literally one of those games that you found it, you picked it up, and you tried it, and the next thing you know, you're hooked on it. I mean,
Well, of course, at the time though, with that game, I mean, it is crazy how people still play it. Like Jeff Holiday was playing it in his server the other day, over in his Discord server. So you've got a game like that. It was also one of those things of it was a kind of game people didn't know they wanted, and it started the trend. It was kind of like DayZ.
Yep.
It was that game people didn't know that they wanted, and now, I mean, I'm thankful these games came out because a lot of the times the offshoots can be really good. Of course, there's a lot of stinkers, but there's also a lot of really good ones that came out.
yeah.
I mean, it was the DayZ craze that probably created games like Rust and Miscreated, 7 Days to Die, all these games. And they're all variants, they're all different. Some are better than others. But it showed that I mean, look at Amnesia the Dark Descent. People didn't know how much they really wanted that good classic horror game until that game came out. And now there's been the Machine for Pigs, a sequel to it. There has been Soma, and there's been Outlast, and all those other games that are kind of in the same vein. And it's one of those genres, like horror is one of those genres. Okay, who unfollowed me? I'm back to 9998. Okay, fuck. Okay. I mean, it's one of those genres that people like. You think about RTSs, for instance. Like you tell someone who only plays on console, where RTSs basically don't exist,
Right.
and you tell them, this is like a huge deal, and that I have no idea. It's just a different world that they don't even know about. Like you tell people, StarCraft 2 and all these sorts of games, like these lane games, Dota 2 and these MOBAs. It's like these are massive games in the gaming industry, but they just don't exist on consoles.
Yep.
You tell them about it, they're like, "What are these? No one plays these. I don't know. Is it not a shooter?" It's like, especially on Xboxes.
Oh well, that's you speaking of that. That was that whenever that whole conversation with Star Citizen and all that coming to Xbox, that was the thing they wanted. They said that they're really thinking that they can get Dota 2.
Oh
What's it
God,
called?
no.
World of Warcraft, all the like League of Legends, all this on Xbox. And I'm like, y'all are like fucking
luck.
stupid.
Good luck running it, first off.
Yeah, like
good luck getting a control scheme that will not make you tear your face off.
Yeah, I was like, well, those things are not meant for controllers at all.
Have you seen these crazy Asians who are doing the click, 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 and they're doing all this shit? They look like robots. I mean, these are just like this machine men who are doing it. No, you can't do that on controllers.
Over 350 fucking movements per second on StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I mean,
it would be like literally be like a very like the retarded version. Like if they put it with controller, it would be like the retarded version. They would have to like completely almost change the game. It wouldn't go over well.
I mean, look, the controller has there are a couple genres that are arguably where it's better, like driving. Because there's like I was able to play Grand Theft Auto 5 though on a keyboard and mouse, driving and everything. It's fine, tapping it in the way it's fine with me. But I do have a PS4 controller right here that I play, and just moving around is so inexact. Just like I used to think that movement was better on a controller than it was with WASD. I've since learned to appreciate WASD is better for moving, because it allows you to pick a direction and control that direction with the way that you move too. There was a point in Vermintide where you have to walk on these thin planks to progress through the level. There's a section where there's water and there's planks above the water. You got to walk on the planks to get across. And the plank makes curves. It turns and it does this stuff. It's so much easier for me to navigate that with WASD and a mouse than it is for me to do that with a controller, because the controller gives you a million different ways and angles to move around, and you're using that with an inexact joystick, and you're also controlling your movement with that inexact joystick as well. And it's easier to just press a button and know that no matter what, you will be heading perfectly forward. And you can control that based on where you look. You will be moving in a perfectly straight line. Left, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can go 8 directions. Plus, using your aiming, you're looking to modify in an infinite amount of ways how many ways you look anyway. So, I mean, even in that sense, the controller goes. I mean, it just shows that with RTSs, the controller has limitations. And while it does driving games better, I might say, for some people, absolutely. But with an RTS, it's just not going to happen. You have to have more commands. You have to be able to quit. And it's not just about speed, okay? It's not just about moving your mouse around or your cursor around at a certain speed, which you have to do in order to keep up with you have to be able to respond to things as quickly as possible in an RTS a lot of times, especially if you're micromanaging units. That's something you just can't do on a keyboard. There's just a bigger delay. I mean, by the time you want to go up there and select all your units and tell them to do something on a controller, because I did play Halo Wars a little bit on the Xbox 360, the orders that you might have wanted to give them maybe that's changed. Plus, how are you going to dictate what units you want to do, what units you want to select, what you want them to do, whether you want them to attack here, go here, move here. You've got a toolbar down there of different, like in Supreme Commander. I mean, Supreme Commander is one of those games where there's so many things to look at, so many things to toggle. Like, oh, your energy spending is too high, so you want to go to all of your. You have a hotkey for all of your shield generators. You want to turn those off so your energy can build up. I mean, it's like, that's just stuff I can't see how you could do that on a controller. You just have a raw limitation.
You'd get
on
your
the amount
ass
of
handed to
inputs you
you.
can have. You would get destroyed. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you were the smartest StarCraft player in the world. If you had a controller, you could not physically keep up. It's like why Blizzard's like, hell no, we're not letting the console and the PC guys play against each other. Hell, it'd be a massacre.
Yeah.
Look what happened in the Shadowrun. I mean, that's why co-op games, I'm all for co-op games having that are cooperative to be cross-play, right? You should be able to turn it off if you want. But in games like Vermintide, for instance, Fat Shark said, yeah, we're not going to do it because bullshit, you should have done it. Vermintide is one of those perfect examples of a game where everybody gets the benefits of everybody being as good as possible in the party that you're with. Because everybody at the end gets the rewards for it. So the better that your players are in your game, the better it's better for everybody. That's one of those games where it's cooperative. It's not competitive unless you're just seeing who gets the most kills or whatever. That's the friendly competition of that. Everybody's working towards an objective. They're fighting computers. They're not cheesing one another. That's one of those perfect games that should be crossplay between PC and console. And yet, I mean, I've played on console I've played that on console with I've played it on the PC with this controller, and I've still been at the top. I mean, I could have done better with the mouse and keyboard, of course, but I could still keep up. So I think that's another squandered opportunity. I wish cross-platform play was more of a deal. I really wish it was, especially because a lot of the times people come to me and they say the reason I haven't moved to PC gaming yet as much as I want to is because all my friends are on consoles. It's like, well, don't you wish you could play on a PC with them? It's like, hell yeah. Oh well, rant over.
No, but you're right though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, don't give me that shit about how you can't do it or you can't figure it out or what and blah blah blah. And if Sony's being a dickhole and they're saying no cross-platform play with us, and Xbox is like, hell yeah, let's do it, then do it with the Xbox guys.
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with.
Yeah.
I had this in a video where you had the CD Projekt Red and the Gwent game that they have. They said they are ready. It's for these companies. It was with who was it? It was with the Gwent guys. It was with Rocket League. It was with another game. They said it's basically almost literally a flip of the switch for these developers, and they can make it cross-play. They just have to get the okay from the companies. This is flip a switch. They can just overnight, they could change a game from being only PC or only console. They can, boom, now it's cross-play.
Yeah.
It's
That was
basically
the
just,
point as to why they designed their games on x86 to begin with.
Well,
because if the game can run. That's
the thing is like the crossplay though happens. It's really weird to me. It being Xbox and PlayStation, but there's more. It seems like there's more crossplay titles. I mean, I'm not talking about Windows 10, like the Windows 10 store, but it seems like there's actually more crossplay titles on PC, on PS4, and Steam than there are on Xbox and Steam, which is weird to me because like back then it used to be the complete opposite. But now I don't see a problem with them actually having crossplay between PC and console. That happens.
Yeah,
I
think
that happens quite often.
Yeah, as long as it's not competitive. I mean, if you want to I mean, if you're on console and you think you're ballsy enough, then sure. If you
Yeah,
want
I
to,
wouldn't.
why not? Yeah, I would not. Yeah, but if you want to play cooperative games, there are some games where it would matter, like maybe top-down shooters, for instance.
Or Titanfall 2 wouldn't matter. I mean, if you're playing co-op.
Yeah, co-op. Yeah, because competitive. Oh boy.
Yeah, competitive, it would be a murder.
Yeah, you get fucking stomped, especially with a movement system and the mouse. Oh my god, man! I was doing some sick shit in Titanfall 2 with that mouse and keyboard. It makes you feel so good because you're like, that wasn't. No one's helping me. I was me. I did that. Bouncing off walls, sniping people, and like do that with a controller. I mean, Dirty Bomb is an excellent example. I mean, that game is basically just raw aim versus raw aim, and if you're not as good at aiming, you're going to lose a lot. This is like going to the character and positioning and weapons and all that. But for the most part, it's a game about who's better with a gun in their hands. And in games like that, no, you just wouldn't be able to keep up.
Okay,
But
now
I know a guy. But I know a guy. Yeah, shut up.
Can you look at it this way? Like, I mean, what do you think about this? Because me, I can understand it to a degree. I think it'd be cool, but like I know, like with PC and say PS4, you can play back and forth or whatever, like especially like Street Fighter 5, all those type of things, co-op and everything. But the whole PS4 with Xbox One, being able to play together.
Xbox said they're fine with it.
Yeah, Xbox says, hey, we're
Sony
good.
said no.
But Sony is like, no. But I mean, now my question is, I see the no as being more of the fact that it requires less of the Xbox crowd to buy a PlayStation if they want to play with their PlayStation buddies. So therefore, it's like more of like a business sense. Like we're gonna force you to buy a PlayStation in order to play with your guys.
More PlayStations is probably why.
Yeah, I mean, like they have
now nobody. Statistically, there are more people with friends with a PlayStation, and you don't have a PlayStation, than there are friends who have an Xbox and you don't have an Xbox.
Well, yeah. So I mean, it's almost like they don't have to.
Yeah. So it's
that's
one thing.
It's opposite.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things. Again, it's like as long as your console doesn't die, you want to lose the war. So I mean that's an excellent example. Like remember, Sony guys, the reason that you can't play a lot of these games with your friends who play on Xbox is because Sony says you can't.
Well, it's because they're winning because they don't have to. They don't have to like So it makes a good point. Yeah.
And every time I hear these guys say, you know, these companies are for the gamers, it's like, no, come on, man.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I don't.
It's like Steam's not for the gamers, man.
Well, no, I mean
it's for the gamers.
The way whenever people say that, I try to look at it. I don't even want to. So I'm not
like
saying
this company dicks me over the least.
Yeah, I
I can put up with how much I'm being fucked in the ass by this company.
When I look at that, people say that I know what they're meaning, and I don't agree with them at all on that. Because they're for themselves. They're gonna be for whatever makes the money. But like I was saying earlier, I think that how people maybe look at it and get confused by the whole idea. I'm hoping that they're just confused.
I think so too.
Is that PlayStation can quote unquote say we're for the gamers, but there's a difference between, like I was saying earlier, there's a difference between PlayStation and Xbox is where PlayStation is dependent upon PlayStation. Like it has to succeed. So therefore they have to give in more in certain aspects than what Microsoft does. Like Microsoft doesn't technically have to have Xbox even around to be successful. Sony does. So Sony's going to give in a little bit more with, like, say, bringing some of these fan favorite packs and stuff like that. I think they're being blinded by that, like by saying that that's for the gamers, and they're not being able to see the full big picture as to what all Sony actually does. Because if you looked at the whole as a whole, looking back, looking in, neither one of them are for the gamer. They're both for them just themselves. The only thing is that PlayStation can hide it more because they're solely dependent. Sony is solely dependent upon PlayStation to be a successful company.
Which is weird though, because you're wondering, like, you see all the stuff they're doing, and you're like, well, it's like sometimes it's really hard to see how they're.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But where they do one bad thing and they get some negative press about it, then all of a sudden you'll hear something like a certain game come out, depending on how bad the press was. You'll hear an older game come out there, everybody's like, oh, yay. And then it's like, oh, we forgot about it. Or the next PS Plus month, they'll give away like one of the newer AAAs. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, then it's like, it's all is forgiven and people like just forget about it. Because like when you brought that up, the EA Access, it was almost like people were kind of like reminded of it. Like they didn't even really remember that it existed. And I think it's just because they get blinded by the fact of, well, oh, PlayStation gave us this game, so we're good. We're fine. You know, I don't need EA Access. I don't need, and they're missing the whole point.
Well, the funny thing is like a lot of these guys will sit there and say, "Oh, I won't pay for this. I won't pay for that." A week later, you know, this really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
And you know what? We all do it. We all do it. I'm not just picking on any.
Well, actually, I was one of the ones that said
Yeah.
it about PlayStation Now.
And you know what's funny about that, Rambo? We're all still saying it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you, Rambo.
Oh well, no. I mean, I said the same thing about PlayStation Now. Like I wouldn't pay for it but back then, when I was like really adamant about that, like the pricing was different, and the value for the price that they were asking just was like, because I think it was like $25 or $30 a month at the time, and I think at one point it actually started out at $40 a month.
So what are you paying for now? I mean, what
I'm paying $19.99
a month?
Yeah.
Nigga.
But I get access to 400 games, like over 400 games
Like,
per month, and I can just play them and move on.
Are you actually playing them though? Are you playing them
Yeah.
that much? So you're playing a full game a day?
I would no, I'm not playing a full game a day from the PS3. I mean, I have a ton of PS4 games to play as well. But
Okay.
whenever they add a game that's like trophy hunting, like I don't have to pay it every month. I can cancel it anytime.
Okay.
But I pay a month and then I'll focus like on like some of the easier trophy ones. Or not the easier platinum ones, and then I'll go back to my PlayStation 4 and play some more games there. And then the next month because they keep putting games on there, so the next month I'll go in there and see if it's if they've added any more or whatever like that, and then I'll pay for it. Then I don't just have like it on a recurring thing, and there's no set time that I have to pay for it. It's just I pay $19.99 and then move on. But I mean, look at
$20 a
the
month for like 12 months though. I mean, but you see,
it is, yeah, that's too.
You say
It's 200. Oh yeah, you can cancel anytime and then just start it back up anytime. But I kind of look at it as kind of like GameFly.
but more expensive.
Well, no, GameFly. I mean, GameFly allows you if you take out 2 discs a month, it's I think $17.99 a month. And to get like 3 games a month or 4, I think you can get up to 4. But I think if you get up to 4, you're looking at around $30 a month for GameFly. But here it is. I mean, I have access to 400 games, if not more. I mean, there's more than 400, but like at any point in time for $19.99 a month. The actual best price would just to be at the end of the year, whenever to pay the $99.99, like so basically $100, and you have access to it for all year long. If you were going to be spending every single month, that would definitely be the better value.
Yeah, dude. There would have to be some serious libraries there that I had never seen before in order for me to want to play that shit or to pay for something like that. I'm
Well, it's
really-
a lot
And for me, it would be the control of being able to choose what games and when. Like if like the delay for me, for instance, like I want to play this game now. It's like, no, I gotta wait for it to ship to me.
Well, yeah, that would be like as far as like the GameFly. Yeah, the GameFly I actually subscribe to GameFly too, but those are the ones where like I don't even worry about new games with them because I buy all the new games that I want. But it's like the games that are obscure, that are quick and easy trophies. I rent 2 of them in a month and just send it back, and then 2, like it's not 2 at a month, but 2 at a time. I play them that week when they come out, send them back, and then get 2 more easy platinum games or whatever. I'm only subscribing to them just for the platinum trophies. I need to just buy a damn PS3 and go buy the games that are just easy platinums, because I mean you can probably buy them for pennies on the dollar right now.
Oh yeah.
And it probably end up costing me less in the long run by doing that way than
Get the
subscribing to PS Now.
get the platinum in White Knight Chronicles, man. Good luck.
Probably not. I was actually trying to find Hannah Montana, because that's actually the easiest platinum, they said. But they said it's like it's almost disgraceful to have that.
Oh my God. To even hear
But I'm
you
about to-
say that, man. Jesus.
I'm about to play like Barbie in the Pet Shop or whatever from the PS Now.
Holy shit, really, Rambo?
But it's like a 3-hour platinum. So I mean, I just go through there and like take care of some puppy dogs and be like, get a platinum.
So down in the comments, you guys, let me know. Do you think Rambo's gay?
Oh God, now come on.
Like,
I better not. Y'all better, if y'all say yes, I want to see you. You better leave your Steam IDs or your PSN IDs, because I want to look it over. Because if you're playing shit like Shantae and all this other shit like that, then you got some questions to answer too. I want to see y'all's what y'all been playing. If you're gonna be like saying that, because just from what I'm playing.
I literally suck cock. You're a faggot. Barbie fucking Pet Shop, man. Oh man.
But it's for the platinum. It's not for
Okay.
like the actual game. I don't
Sure
give a
it
shit
is.
about the
No,
game.
Sure, yeah, sure it is. I got you. I
I heard what is that? Hello Kitty Island was a pretty good platinum.
What now?
Not the
I-
littlest pet shop.
If you tell me, like they say a lot of the
What
Disney
bit, homie,
games.
you got some platinum info?
Yeah, that's what I thought he was saying. I was like, going, what kind of platinums now? What
Jack.
It's not the black market; it's the platinum market.
Mm-mm-mm.
They exchange information on what the easiest plats are.
Oh, I had people like DM me on Twitter, like a list of easy platinums on the
I
PS4.
swear to God, they're trolling you.
No, they're really not, because I looked them up and they're all like Lara Croft Go, Hitman Go. The Bunker is like a 30-minute platinum. It's like
Wow.
a interactive movie type thing.
Wow.
And there was like a one called My Name is Mayo. I don't know if you've heard that game.
No.
No, I have
But
to
you
catch up.
literally, it was 99 cents. I bought it.
He's like, I
tw-
don't care if I'm fucking a jar of mayonnaise in that game as long as I'm getting a platinum.
Well, no, all you do for that game basically is hit the X button 10,000 times.
Oh, okay. So
Like once you hit the 10,000, you basically have the platinum.
That is some dumbass shit. So you have to kill a
You
button to
you
do
just
it?
click X and like a little finger touches the mayonnaise jar. Just ding 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 ding.
All right.
Like-
Well, you see, he's kind of fucking a jar of mayo.
Yeah, I got the platinum in like 20 minutes. So he was like, sweet. I moved on and
20 minutes.
I was just
Your
hitting
ass,
X.
your ass was hitting X for a platinum. I want everybody to just think about that real quick of what this man does to get platinums.
I'll do anything.
No, don't. Yeah, you fucking press a button. You press the button 10,000 times for 20.
Yeah, my controllers are probably gonna wear out from playing games like that. But I mean,
Your hand's gonna wear out.
well, no, I mean, I'm gonna start employing like my kids, like so I can take a break and they can just continue.
There
hitting
we,
X.
there we
Sweet
go.
is to
There
get
we
this
go. Now
platinum.
we're talking. There we go. Put those little shits to work. All they do is eat and consume. Put them to
That
work.
really is all they
Make
do.
them earn. Yeah.
Play my video
It's
games.
to work. It's like, Father, I'm really hungry. It's, where are my trophies? I haven't got any. Then get back to work.
You really sound like that fucking. I ain't got any. What?
My ever sandwich. Show me your list of platinums.
I mean, I've got like a whole like you know how you
That's
can
only
put
good enough for a bag of chips.
how you can put folders on PlayStation. I have like a folder just for like the indie games that are platinums. Just downloaded it so where I can just go every once in a while to go in there and play a indie game to get a platinum, and I'll delete it and never think about it again.
May I have some Cool Ranch Doritos? You will have ruffles with ridges and you will like it.
I just bought on sale a game called Toro. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
No.
You are literally a bullfighter, and all you do is like basically just fight a bull. Like you just like let the bull come running at you, and you just move
And
and
you
move and.
Torture it. Yeah, I got you.
But that's what I bought that just so that way I can get a platinum.
So
It was like
you're-
$6.99.
You're condoning animal cruelty for a platinum.
I could give a shit less, man.
He's all 10 platinums or 10 platinums, nigga.
I've got to get to 150. I got to get 150 this year. So I mean, I'll do at this point. Like, if y'all have any that y'all know of that takes me, I can do maybe like 3 or 4 in a day. Let me know. Put it in the comment section. I will do it, and I'll even shout you out the next time, man.
Does your wife listen to these podcasts?
No.
She's
No,
like, I
my wife
swear
isn't
I
bad
didn't.
and-
She's
No,
like,
I
I
was just-
swear
I
I
was
did
just
not
curious.
marry this man.
Oh no, my wife knows though, because I mean, like when we're
I let him come inside me.
I'm looking at like when I go to like say GameStop or whatever to look at their older games, I will pull out my phone because I have PSN profiles downloaded onto my phone, an app, and so whenever I'm like choosing between this $9 game or this $9 game, I'll look up, okay, which one has a platinum?
It is so hard
How
to
much time-
unhear this conversation right now.
How much time does it take to get this platinum versus this platinum if they both have one? And then so if it's the quickest one, I can only buy one game, I'm gonna get the quickest platinum.
Sweet. I can still swap my thumbs up to a thumbs down. There we go. Just in time.
It just switched to 2.
Come on, guys, y'all
Yeah.
got. Yeah, there's got to be other trophy whores or achievement whores inside the
When I was on the Xbox, I mean, yeah, I liked getting achievements. I mean, it was cool to kind of see that number around. But there was a very clear line as to how far I would be willing to go to get something. I mean, I would never go and get an achievement just to say like, oh yeah, how about he's like, I gotta have it. It would be one of those things where that sounds like a cool challenge. Plus, I get an achievement for doing it. Like to this day,
Oh,
I'm still
wow.
proud that I got there's only 2 games that I got all the achievements for. Dead Space and Dead Space 2. And that shit was tough. It was a challenge, but I really liked the games. And it was something I wanted to follow through on and be able to beat, like hardcore mode in Dead Space 3, Dead Space 2, or beating Dead Space 1 on that super like insanity difficulty. It was really difficult. And it's like I'm only willing to do these things that are almost frustratingly hard if it's a game I really, really enjoy. And it would never be just for the trophy. It'd be like, yeah, I get a trophy for it, but I guess it's something that I actually enjoy. I mean, those are the only 2 games I got all the achievements for, and I enjoy those games just because I enjoy those games so much. I never bring myself to like really playing games and just be miserable just to get an achievement. And I was only able to sidestep so much from my normal gaming to go get an achievement.
The miserable portion of it, as long as it's like I can't play like a game that's like going to take 20 to 30 hours to get the platinum and it's trash game, because I just can't sit through 20 to 30 hours worth of like, God, this is like killing me. But like say like Maca 91 Productions, he does like walkthroughs or whatever, but he put like the top 10 or whatever games that are where you can easily 100% on Xbox. And so I paid attention to it. I wrote it down, and I think on January 1st, I went in and got completed like 6 games. I have 6,000 for January. I have 6,155 gamer score, but that was done in one day. Because I mean, it was like the games were like you could finish the game, get 1,000 gamer score in like an hour. And so I mean, an hour wasn't that big of a deal for me to sit through a crap game. It was like, nah, I mean, what else am I gonna be doing this hour? I mean, watching TV. So I mean, like I can deal with the shit game for an hour. But dealing with the shit game for like 20 to 30 hours, like just to get the 1 platinum, I can't do that.
I mean, remember Steam's got achievements.
Yeah, they're just not the same because like
Wait. Are you gonna say the only difference is because of the sound it makes? Ba-doop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, well, with that, I'm gonna go take a piss.
I mean, the sound, like there's not, I don't get that same satisfaction as hearing the achievement ring or the trophy ring. And the trophy thing is actually, even to me, it's more satisfying because when you get 100% of the achievements, like you just get that last achievement, it just goes ding or whatever, and then it's like done. But with the platinum, you get that last trophy, and then all of a sudden, like, you get that one extra, that platinum. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, ding, you're like, okay, I get the last achievement, and then you're waiting for it, and then bam, here comes the platinum. It's like, there's like that one extra, that extra nudge that gives me like, I like that. I want that more.
Gives them that warm, fuzzy feeling.
It does. It gives me like, I did this. Pavlov's dog. What is Pavlov's dog? Y'all know anything about Pavlov's dog?
No.
Pavlov's dog. I know the experiment.
What is Pavlov? What is it?
You don't know?
Oh God, yeah, I know. I remember
do?
that now. Yeah, from
Yeah.
college. Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Pavlov was a guy who basically, whenever he was about to feed his dog, he would ring a bell, and the dog would hear the bell, and eventually it would condition the dog to think that whenever the bell rang, it was about to get fed. So even when Pavlov rang the bell, the dog would start, salivating like it knew it was time to get fed, regardless of whether there's any food or not. So that's Pavlov's dog. It's people basically when people say it now, when they refer to Pavlov, like Pavlov something or other, they're referring to how people will react to something, how they've been conditioned to react to a thing, and they don't really think about it a lot of the times.
And that they just called me that in the comment section, which is kind of accurate, I guess. And Rusty, as far as like platinuming Dark Souls 1, if I ever get like a PS3, maybe. But I mean, I'm thinking about platinuming Dark Souls 3. I mean, if I can stomach, let's put it this way: if my monitors and my PS4 controller can actually make it through the platinum of that, because that's like a rage. That's like a rage fest game. So
now, the result the result I told you guys to go and vote for here. The question was: video games are for men, women, or everybody. There were 2,849 votes. Men got 5%, women got 1%, and everybody got 94%. Shocking.
So
probably nobody.
Yeah, but where did that come from? Because it was almost like an obvious poll, so I'm not understanding like what.
It does sound like an obvious poll. Yeah, it did seem pretty obvious what the answer was, isn't it?
So,
but
sir,
yeah,
just been mind fucked.
Oh shit, nigger. Now, if we've got you will see, you will see. There's going to be a point here. There's going to be. I'll say it now because most people obviously don't listen to this because I don't really advertise the podcast that much, really at all. But the reason I did this because Adam Ruins Everything did a video, basically saying, why do gamers, why do people think? Oh, let's go. Adam Ruins Everything. Why people think video games are just for boys? Which obviously every gamer who looks at that title says, no, we don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Like this whole video is based on a straw man. The idea that gamers think that games aren't
a stereotype.
Women just can't play girls. Yeah, it's just a stereotype that people go through that because people don't know fuck all about anything. It's like Gamergate, Like people outside are like, all right, okay. You've got.
It would be like me doing. It'd be like me doing a video like, why is watermelon only for black people? I mean, that would just be like feeding off of a stereotype.
Yeah, it's like
rather than actual true knowledge of the subject.
And people keep saying, they get the 5% for men and 1% for women. Yeah, like the people, there's a margin of error for trolling here.
Oh well, yeah, I would have.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
I imagine when I saw people pick men only, or I was like, yeah, that's somebody trolling you or just answering. Probably the Sierra L. He probably signed into several accounts so he could sign, hit the men or whatever on there.
Yeah, it's like I'm almost on the verge of blocking him just so he has something to do with his life. It's like I want him to go do something with his life.
He's just gonna troll somebody else, like me probably. So please don't.
Oh, that in that case, do it.
No, because I can only.
I love logging into my Twitter and like fucking Rambo is dangling on a hook somewhere on Twitter, and I'm like, I have to help him down sometimes. It's funny.
It's every day.
I'm swear I'm gonna get PTSD by the end of this console generation.
Dude, I swear to God, like I feel like I have to bap your nose every time you go around trolls. I'm like, Rambo, get the fuck back here now! Don't make me say it twice.
He says some stupid shit, damn it.
But I know, dude. Like I tell Rambo, I'm like, dude, just leave it be. And he's like, He's got like a fucking like a Twitlonger post going on Twitter, which you think would be impossible, but no, not with Rambo. Shorthand everything, and you can read a sentence and to make it sound like it's a fucking paragraph.
Oh yeah, my I've perfected shorthand because of fucking Twitter. I can have a damn dissertation in 140 characters.
That's ridiculous.
I've figured it out.
Fucking hate Twitter sometimes, I swear.
I do too. I'm like it's not very user friendly with only 140 characters. Like what the hell?
It's meant for shit posting is what it's for. And if you find any other reason to use it, then good on you. But I must fucking just the fucking link in the chat. Oh my god.
The link in the chat. Oh.
The link in the chat. Holy fuck.
What is that?
Shit.
I don't understand. Pass into the Oh.
That's one way to use blank disc.
What the
That's
hell?
fucking hilarious. It's Zenyatta.
Yeah, but this person like seriously like has a lot of time on their hands because shit.
Listen to the guy. Okay. There you go.
I wonder how much hate he got from that.
It's fucking amazing. None from me.
You're making fun of the whatever the hell Zenyatta is. Religion.
Either the
Or
Olmec
faith.
or whatever the hell it's called. Android species thing, majigger. He is a smartphone incarnated into a human being. Did you just get quiet all of a sudden? Like, what the hell, guys?
It did. I think Rags is looking at something.
Yes, I am.
Looking at my winner.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, fuck. God damn, there's so much.
Max. I'm 100% Nugu.
But now, just to go back to the platinum thing, now I won't like not play a game because it doesn't have a platinum. So just so everybody knows that, okay? I'm not like just the only like I don't only look at games like it's got to have a platinum. I'm putting it back. No.
Nigga. I'm 200% nigga. Oh, see.
256 megabytes.
Shit. Kid Smooth had a tweet. He said, "Oh my god, this is fantastic. This is why I follow him. It's great. It's goldmine. Overall, my ass. You omitted comments about me that I was replying to. What a bitch ass. If you gonna expose me, do it organically."
What the fuck? Okay, so you just go to your channel and record it? Like,
let me fucking link it. I'll link it in the chat. I'll link it in the chat.
How do you
He legitimately said, if you gotta expose me, do it organically. Don't cheat.
Well, how do you? How? I would just reply back to like how.
If you gotta expose me, do it organically.
first
Yeah,
off,
that's
Kid
the
Smooth,
size
do
I
you
like
come
that.
from like, you know,
Love it.
like, do you come from the Kobe from China or do you come from Happy Cows of California?
That's
And,
fucking
Are you
fantastic.
corn fed or are you organic? Like, what's the difference?
No pesticides.
You don't have MSG, do you? Because I can't consume that. I mean, I'm allergic.
I'm looking up all the different iterations of the definitions of organically, and I'm trying to like figure out like how the hell he chose that word.
You know it's bad when someone tweets something and you need to go to Urban Dictionary to translate the shit. That's horrible.
I've got.
Kid
I mean,
Smooth, you are so urban.
on the fourth definition of organically, it says as elements of an organized whole. So maybe he's. I don't know how. I don't know. That's just. It's just like-
Organically.
The example is workers in both parts of the new economy are organically connected, but that still wouldn't like refer back to his being exposed organically. That makes like with him it's just like you wonder if like school ever existed. And he's gone to college. He's got a college degree.
It's like, I'm not gonna fail him, so I have to teach him another year.
Apparently so. I think that's what happened with a lot of people.
I'll let the 5th grade teachers deal with him.
This No Child Left Behind has caused that.
It's true. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, because my kids would come home from school and they'd be like, if they got a 60
No
or
child's
65 or
behind
whatever,
left.
the teacher would be like,
Oh,
oh, but you can
yeah.
do it again and bring it back and you'll still get a 70. I'm like, no, like
Like-
they got a damn grade that like give them that
got a
damn
fucking
grade.
D, now live with it.
Yeah. I'm like there ain't no reason for you to do it again. Like you screwed it up the first time.
But Daddy, I want to learn. No, you failed. Live in your misery. You disrespect this dojo.
So,
Oh my gosh.
Step into the dojo. Yeah.
No, you must commit Sudoku. It's like, oh Jesus.
You want me to do a fucked up math problem?
CNN reporter Jim Acosta says Sean Spicer, who will be Trump's press secretary, told him he'd be thrown out if he tried to get in questions.
Well, that's because Acosta wasn't he the dude that Trump ripped apart in that press conference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's like, fuck that guy. Trump's like, no, you're fake news. Fuck off. Like you fucking demonized me for the last year and a half. I was like, I have no time for you anymore.
well, there's no point in answering
It's like
those
you're
questions.
yeah. It's like you can just shut up. It's like I don't care about you, CNN.
The
Like
only reason
you're awful.
the only reason those people are in there to ask questions is to try to like spin the narrative to make him look bad. They're not going to ask him questions about like any kind of policy or anything like that. Be like, did you really pee on some Russian hookers? Like,
No, I
did you
grabbed him
have
in the
Diet
pussy.
Coke or Dr. Pepper before you peed? You know, they're going to like ask some stupid shit like that instead of.
You see, if you drink enough soda, the pee has a little tingle, little bit of tingle left.
You can really feel it.
I'm on an all soda diet. Whenever I pee, it's like someone's tickling the inside of my wiener. Little Donald, he gets so worked up.
It's great. It's great.
It's great. Ask anyone, and they'll tell you. I know it. You know it. And they know it. Everyone knows it. Ask anyone. They'll tell you.
I know how to pee great.
I know. I pee great. I'm one of the best peers you'll ever see.
I've managed to pee over my own wall. Even China knows it.
China. When it comes to peeing, China's killing us. We can't let China win. China's killing us. We're losing out.
They're
We can't let them take advantage of us anymore.
they're the master manipulators of pee.
Master manipulators of pee.
Why do you think they have a wall?
It's always good to see these images that are let's see, 720p, 1080, 1440, 2160, 4320, just to see the scale, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It is really interesting to see, like I could, when you see them side to side, because I play everything at 1440p. I mean, I could see the difference between that and 1080p and how much the 1080p image has to be blown up so that it could fit on the monitor, and that's why it looks so blurry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Ahmed, I don't know if y'all follow him on Twitter, but Z Huge EX or whatever.
What?
He just tweeted a picture. He's an analyst, and he just tweeted a picture where HTC, I guess, is doing a new phone or whatever, a new little thing, and one thing is called HTC U Ultra. It's all about the U, and then the other one is called HTC U Play for the powerful, playful U. And he says, in before Ubisoft sues him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your Uplay, I mean, that's in there. And they definitely cornered that Uplay. I see HTC having to change that.
That is
Title.
kind of weird that they're trying to aim at that market. That's interesting.
It seems weird that HTC, like, knowing, like, because it's not like they're, because it's obviously for the gamer type thing or the
Yeah.
playful you or whatever. So it's not, I mean, it's not like that HTC is like ignorant to the fact that Uplay exists.
So playful.
So it would be kind of, it's kind of odd that they, like a big company like that, went with such a obvious thing like you play.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to spend that one to try to keep that one around. But HTC doesn't really need any bad publicity because they're not really, as far as smartphone in the industry, they're not really a player much anymore.
No, because they kind of suck.
Yeah.
They ruined their own line of audio type file phones, and it's I don't understand why they would do that. I mean, the HTC original one was really good. Like, I loved that phone. That was one of my favorite phones. And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna release another iteration like so soon," and it was okay. And then they just got continuously worse after each iteration. It was like, you guys need to stop.
Yeah, it's almost like they were trying to kill themselves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he had a contract with Beats to do your fucking cell phone drivers, and you had a great thing, and now you no longer have that contract, and it sucks. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? LG's been killing them.
Yeah, they have. Like HTC, like I said, HTC hasn't really. It was kind of odd seeing even a picture with HTC in it because it's just one company you just don't hear much about anymore.
Like,
And they used to be like a prominent thing, and then like they just became like a Windows phone, and not as bad, but
actually
kind of
they're getting to that negative though. They are getting that negative. Like, I hear more about Windows Phone nowadays before I do HTC.
and that's when you know
sad.
you're failing. That's when you know you're failing.
Exactly. I mean, I love my Windows Phone, but Jesus Christ, when I hear about the new fucking Windows Phone before the next HTC project, it's like,
There's a problem.
something's not right here, guys. Something's wrong with the Force today. Look, I'm hearing about fucking BlackBerry now before I hear about fucking anything HTC. What's up with this? And that's actually true. Like, BlackBerry has released some new shit, and it's pretty good. Like,
Yeah, that's weird. I thought BlackBerry was gone, and then all of a sudden, like they came back with new phones, and I'm like, what? Like, what are they?
you're like, when did this happen?
Yeah, like I thought. I mean, because BlackBerry used to be the shit. Like everybody had one,
Yeah, I had a Pearl.
and then the iPhone came out, and then the Samsung started coming out. Like once the very first Samsung came out, like BlackBerry just kind of disappeared. Only businessmen that really had to have it, maybe still had one, but like you never heard anything from them. And now all of a sudden, like they're releasing and competing in the smartphone market. I'm like, wow, like I thought they were just dead and gone. Like they got ran out, but apparently they just like left the market and like so then came back like with after research, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Have they always been around, just maybe just not really talked about?
Yeah, they've been around for like ever since their Pearl, dude. They've been kind of like doing the whole one-off spins for like random companies. They've released Blackberries that I've never even heard of, dude. Like,
Wow,
seriously,
I did.
they're like other companies. Like Cricut's got their own line of BlackBerry, I think. What is it? That one mobile company that's like Cricut that's really popular on the East Coast has their own BlackBerry.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I mean, because I remember back when I was with Sprint. I mean, back when BlackBerry was like the height, I got my BlackBerry and I was like, I enjoyed it because it was almost like having a damn computer in your hand. And then like I forget the HTC Touch, I think it was, or it was, I don't know, it was one that was competing with the Samsung Galaxy at the time when it first came out, and then the iPhone. It was kind of like all those together, and then all of a sudden, like nobody talked about BlackBerry ever again. Like it was almost like, oh my god, you have a BlackBerry? Like what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like now you say BlackBerry and people are like, you mean like the little
Farouk?
fruit
Yeah.
thingies? It's like you mean like nature's candy? I
So it's kind of weird that you're talking. Like it's weird that you're talking about them to me like right now. It's like that doesn't seem. I thought they were just gone. Like kind of like HTC. Like nobody talked about them.
Nah, yeah.
I wonder if it's regional.
Maybe. I know they got. I know they have a new BlackBerry out now that's kind of got a pretty nice looking square body.
Hey, Brim.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
No. What time is it?
It's 3:08 in the morning.
It's 3:08 in the morning. That's late for you.
We've honestly had like a steady flow of people watching. Like,
yeah, we've had 3 hours. I mean, I stopped watching, but I even I stopped watching.
But you stop. You're in it.
I'm not watching.
Well, I would hope not. I mean, like, how are you watching? How are you watching what you're in?
Or why would you?
Oh, he just like dropped out.
Of course he did.
That's just
Because
him.
he's gay.
Oh, there he
I had
is.
I had to update my Discord real quick to get
I
some.
thought you was like,
excitement in my
I
life.
thought you was like proving a point. Like, fuck it, watch. I'm not watching it all.
No.
All right, so before we end it, anything
Yeah.
coming up on your guys' channels? Anything at all, Rags? I know you just uploaded one. I watched it today.
Yeah,
pretty
today I uploaded one. He actually wanted to talk with me on Skype, but as it is 2017, I do not use the Skype. So I gave him the link to this Discord here, and I said, you know, you can come on the stream and talk. But I guess he went to bed or something. He had school in the morning. I don't know. But we've got, but he wants to like chat with me or something. So we'll see what that's
okay.
about. I don't even know. But the next video I'm gonna be doing is about this Adam Ruins Everything video. It's a little, it's kind of old, but it the point is the same. It's about a year old, just a little bit over a year old, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, still applies. It has not lost its luster.
Good to hear. Good to hear. What about you, Rambo? Anything coming?
I'm actually been working. Like, I've actually had to go back and rewatch all the E3s from 2013 to 2016. As far as like each company, because I'm kind of working like a response to this Dryer Schmidt or whatever. His article came out saying that I guess Xbox does better at releasing announced games from like E3. And so I wanted to go back and like kind of get like a percentage on just how many are actually released or pushed back or whatever from one company to the next. And man, I'm still looking at it, still kind of going over the numbers, but like from just a rough look at it after I've kind of made it through both companies now for all those years, it kind of looks like an even amount basically as far as like what gets announced and when it gets actually released, like how many years later or whatever. So it's going to be interesting. I just want to see like if like just kind of I guess negate his whole Microsoft, this holy grail of like releasing games whenever typically those type of things happen with both companies. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm still also trying to work on the whole Iron Wolf thing. Trying to go back and research like his old tweets, but shit, that's not very much fun. So I don't know if I'll ever actually get that video out because I don't know if I can stomach going through all those tweets. And I have one more thing to where Xbot448 said that he did a video talking about the PlayStation community as a whole, saying that their fan base is more cancerous, more terrible, is more disgusting than the Xbox fan base. And like, I think it's each of these people live in their own little bubble.
I was gonna say, are we all not on the same internet or something? Like,
well, what happens like if you follow more of your Xbox guys, like you're gonna naturally see more PlayStation fanboys because of the fact that you're the one they're going after, rather than, I mean, most Xbox fanboys aren't gonna troll you, and so I mean that he's basing his perception of like a community off of his little bubble that he lives in. And so I don't know how he closes his eyes to what happens, because I mean other people have talked about it, but I mean fuck, you just had somebody pissing on a damn PlayStation 4. So I want to do a response to that, but I'm asking people like if you have any screenshots for like tweets for like people have been on the Xbox side tweeting out like stupid bullshit. DM them to me. My DMs are open on Twitter. So because I'm trying to put together a long list of showing like examples of it's not just one-sided thing here. Like there's idiots on both fucking sides of the fence, and maybe if like people stuck to their own lane, then maybe there wouldn't be so much of it.
And
Man, Weapon Wheel podcast called out that article too.
Which article?
BG, the Xbox, Microsoft consistently beats competition at releasing games.
Oh, I didn't. I don't watch.
Which is funny because that was on January the 10th. When was Scalebound canceled?
January 9th. he did it like right after. Like that was his article in response to them canceling a game.
I'm sorry. That was funny. That amused me.
It was kind of just an ironic piece that he wrote, and
I don't. Yeah, Weapon Wheel podcast. You enjoy writing BS articles? I knew you wrote it before I even clicked on the article. He said, "Thanks for the shout out." No problem, you delusional basket case. You won't get much from it.
these people think that, yeah, I mean, it's that whole negative publicity is just as good as positive publicity, but like people in this, you don't grow. You're not going to grow for like he doesn't have a YouTube channel, so it's not like he's going to grow from this. And you only get to a certain point, you get to a stalemate even if you do grow from anything from this fanboy crap. But for the most part, he's generally just looked at as like an idiot. Besides amongst his little closed-minded Xbox fanboys. So I mean, I don't understand like the reasoning for it. Like, so I really like to know, like, do these people actually believe this shit that they say, or is it just for a troll?
I want to say that they're trolling, but that's neither here.
I would love to be able to say that, yeah, that's just trolling. I mean, because then it makes sense. But if they actually believe it, it's really, it puts a whole like meaning of mental health. Like there's a problem in our country.
So this guy named Enrique 4K Native, who is for some reason using the M for the N in Enrique, because he's an Xbox gamer.
It's Enrique, man.
Enrique. His pinned tweet is from 20th of February last year. No other company can compete with this. Games after games after games. #Xbox. And the picture is best games are on the Xbox One. Let's go down the list of titles he has. We could edit this together. So, Crackdown 3.
Still
not out.
Up in the air.
Yeah, not out.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's crop this here. Recore. Remember, best games are on Xbox One. Right. Recore.
That was very no.
Third on the list, Scalebound. Gears of War 4.
It's not a bad game.
Quantum Break.
Oh wow.
Everspace.
The fuck is that?
I've never heard of Everspace. Let me actually look it up now. Everspace game. It is on Steam, it seems. Very positive. Okay, no. Released September of 2016. It looks like it's a it actually looks pretty nifty. It looks like it's a flight. It's like a game where you fly around in space and shoot at shit. It's like a first person space shooter game.
Huh.
All right. Forza Horizon 3.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Sea of Thieves.
I have no idea.
I hope that's good.
I don't know what this next one is. Something ARS 2. Something ARS 2, like Mars 2. Mars 2. I don't know what that game is. And Cuphead.
That's not that's we don't even know if that's even going to be coming out. So it's amazing. Like the best games on Xbox are like stuff that don't even exist.
Well,
you can't play. Well, it's easy to say that those are the best games because you can't play them to deny them.
Exactly. Like, well, you don't know. Well, you don't know. You can't say that. You don't know if
But
it sucks. It's not even out, so haha.
I mean, it's funny that the games that he listed that were actually on, out and about, like to where you could play them. If you actually took a Metacritic of them, an average of the Metacritic, you probably would end up with a below 80.
Yeah, I'm actually doing that right now.
Average.
Yeah, Recore on Xbox One, 63 out of 100. So I'm doing this.
Everspace isn't even out on Xbox One yet.
It's not. It's on Steam. It was released in September.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing. It says release date September 23rd, but it's not. I mean, there's no user score, no meta score, nothing. It's like a game that doesn't exist.
Interesting.
Not out, and that's a 63 out of 100. I'm just
And
going
I'll-
down the. I'm just going down this list here.
I'm going to look on Xbox.com and just look up Everspace and see if it pops up anything. Oh no, it's in game preview. It's a game preview game. Early access, I guess. So that's the reason why it's not rated or anything right now.
Gears of War 4. That game probably did really good.
I think I think like at 81 or something like that.
It's really not a bad game.
I did. Have
Yeah,
you played
I've
the
heard it's
campaign?
good.
No, I'm still going through the old Gears of Wars. I've never played them all.
Because I mean, like the user score on there is a 6.3.
Really?
Metascore is 84 on Gears of War 4, but the user score is 6.3, and that's 836 ratings.
That's enough to. Yeah, that's enough ratings to.
But I mean, it's like I've heard from a lot of Gears fans that the game is just the campaign is just really not that much fun. Like it doesn't give like the old vintage Gears or whatever, like the actual Gears feeling.
Oh, the multiplayer is good.
Yeah. They say it's dead though.
Really?
I don't know.
I haven't played in a while, so it may be.
I don't know that. Yeah, they said that. I mean, there's people that are tweeting and saying that they were trying to get a game of Gears going or whatever, but it's like barely anybody's playing anymore. I don't know. I have the game. I haven't started it up myself. It was all surprising to see a lot of people, even the Xbox guys, saying this. It was like because this is Gears we're talking.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be the game to end all games. The best thing ever. Until the next best thing ever, of course.
Until the next Gears or next Halo. But yeah, it was surprising. But I mean, the user score kind of like relates to what people are saying. But I mean, obviously there's going to be some trolls on there. But I think the 836. I don't think the majority of those are going to be trolls. I don't know.
So-
That makes me want to play it to see if it.
So
See what-
Everspace is it on Xbox?
It's on Xbox in game preview. So I mean, it's a preview game. It's not. It's
So
a
what does
early
that
access.
mean?
Early access. Yeah, so it doesn't have any ratings. It's not really considered a quote unquote game yet. Like for them to rate.
All right, I'll put TBD. Forza Horizon 3.
That one got good ratings, I think.
Yeah, 9. Let's see. User score is 7.4 out of 10.
Yeah, I've been playing the crap out of Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, that one. I don't know if they can make a bad Horizon. The Metascore is 91 on that one. Yeah,
That's critics though, and I don't know how
Yeah.
much credence I can give critics.
well, I mean,
I'd rather go by user score if there's enough.
okay. Well, I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, because
If there's not enough user score, I'll go by critic score, because it's after a 90 critics give it a 91, so I'm willing to give that some okay. But normally, I'd rather go by user score if there's more of them, but if there's not, then I'll go by critic score. So let's see. Next up is Sea of Thieves.
that one's not even out. And from what I hear, that one's going to be like a free to play, more of like a Twitch streamers type game. So I'm not sure if that'll like be rated well, like high or whatever, considering the type of thing. If it ends up being that.
I'll put this in shit post so you could see the image. I need to know what that game is. The second from the right. What is that?
Makes me shit post.
What is
Halo
that
War,
game?
Halo Wars 2.
Oh, Halo. Okay. Oh, okay. Halo Wars
That's not-
2.
that's not out yet.
released.
Yeah. Shit, like almost every single one of these are not released.
Okay, so let's go through this list now that I've typed it up. I'll draw the lines and post it later. Okay, Crackdown 3 not released. Let's actually change that. Let's go to boom, not released. Let's change that to blue to be consistent. Let's crop that out real quick, and it's gone. Okay, Crackdown 3 not released. Recourse 6.6 out of 10. Scalebound canceled. Gears of War 6.8 out of 10. Quantum Break 6.3 out of 10. Everspace to be determined. Forza Horizon 3, not 7.4 out of 10. Sea of Thieves, not released. Halo Wars 2, not released. Cuphead, not released.
But you would have to average all those numbers by the total number of games there, even though the ones aren't released.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10 games, and you can only play
3 of them, I think.
4,
4.
not counting Everspace. Everspace is early access. We'll count that as you can play it. So, but it's TBD on reviews or critics or everything, because there are 0 ratings for it on the Xbox One. So no critic or user ratings. So of those games and the list of 10, remember he posted this February of 2016. Of all those games that have been posted, you can only play 4. 1 has been officially canceled. 3 have not been released. And Cuphead, I'm almost willing to say it's in limbo.
I'm almost willing to say the Cuphead's going to eventually just be a Steam-only game.
You probably do well on Steam.
Oh,
Looks
I think
pretty
so.
cool. I might get
Yeah,
it.
I've
looks
been
pretty
looking
nifty.
forward to it.
If you get it, I'll get it. Bag it. So let's go. Let's see. Let's draw our little liney lines here, and then I will retweet him with this updated information.
Get ready to
And
get
then we'll
blocked.
see when I will get blocked. Yep, I'll see when I get blocked.
Who are you updating again? I forgot who we were talking about.
That Henrique,
Enrique.
he's a Xbox fanboy or whatever, but he listed the best games that are on Xbox, but his best games that are on Xbox, 6 out of the 10 you can't even play.
So how are they the best
this-
games if you can't play?
Yeah, apparently they're the best. I mean,
Because the
well, I mean,
Xbox is best box.
you can't argue
That's
with
why.
I mean, I guess the strategy is you can't really argue that they're not the best games because you can't
Yeah.
play them to say that they're not.
I think
Ha.
I hate
Take that, atheists.
I hate when, like, if you guys ever notice, like, if you're looking up like genres of games on YouTube, they'll be like, this is the top 5 best FPSs of 2016, and they're all games that were like in beta like 10 years ago, or they are games that have yet to be coming out yet, and yet they said that they're gonna give them a 10 out of 10.
That are yet to be having the
I
time
hate
yeah.
that.
yet,
I hate
please.
that shit. I really do. A
I
lot
was
of
like,
those
how the fuck do you know they're gonna be good? Or yeah, I don't understand. I just like that. Like, there's people that I've seen the PlayStation fanboys like tweet out going, "Oh, the best place to play," and like you have Days Gone, God of War, and I'm like going, but how do you know? Like, you haven't even touched those games. Like, you've only seen like a little bitty tiny snippet that they've shown you.
It's like, no. This time, guys, it'll be different. These games will be different. They won't be like all the other games. Come on, it'll be different this time. Yeah, we're constantly disappointed. Yeah, hype is constantly getting the best of us. No, we don't learn our lesson, but guys, this time it'll be different.
Yeah.
And come on, it's fill in the blank company. Come on, it's fill in the blank series. This time it'll be different.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like you could argue that like God of War, that great series, highly regarded or whatever. So chances are, but sucking is going to be, not as great. But you can't say that it wouldn't, because I mean, look at the Halo franchise. I mean, you had some that were scored like really super high and really high regard, and then the ratings kind of just start going down for a lot of them. So I mean, that's you could just never tell.
I mean, look at this guy. This guy, he posted. Remember, he posted this pinned to his profile, 20th of February, 2016. We're almost a month away from this being a year-old tweet. All right, the best games are on Xbox One. You can only play 4 of those. It's been a year.
A year after he tweeted that.
Yeah, a year after you tweeted this, you can only play 4 of those games, and of them, there are no. I mean, the highest of them is Forza at 7.4 out of 10 user score rating.
I would argue that out of all those games, Forza is probably the best game out of the
Yeah, it's got the best
the
score.
bunch.
It's got the best score, yeah. Now, if we take it by critic reviews, yeah, it's absolutely. By both critic reviews and user reviews, it is the highest reviewed.
But Forza, I mean, I'm a kind of a Forza Horizon fanboy. I love that series.
Same here. I think that's I played 3 earlier this week. We got this week. Ain't that right, Shane? Pretty good game.
Oh yeah, it's a great game.
Fucking I started playing the first one today. like a little bit more. I mean, I started a little while ago, but I'm really trying to finish it. And so far, I'm liking the one, but I can see why.
The only thing I don't like about I tried going back and playing one, but the one thing I hated was like it's not really as open as 2 and 3.
Yeah, I saw the limitations.
Like you kept running into like imaginary walls, or like the fence line was like an actual wall instead of like you can't go through the fence. It was like, what? I'm so used to just turning a corner, and if I accidentally run through the grass, I can go through the grass, but not in Forza Horizon. Damn it, you like nope, that damn fence is like not coming down.
Yeah, that shit was like...
They really cemented those damn poles back then.
Yep. I've become somewhat of addicted to these games, to that game series. Like, we had this conversation the other night. If you liked Underground 2, a lot of people are saying, well, I can't find a racer anymore these days that's like Underground 2. Forza Horizon series is going to be your closest thing. And I
think Forza Horizon probably has it all besides the cops.
Which I'm glad. I don't want that, honestly.
The cops kind of annoyed me always on those games.
Yeah. I didn't care for it either, but I like the events. The events were pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Forza Horizon is definitely like, if you want an open world racer, that is your game. Like it's almost like playing, like saying you want a Major League Baseball game. Well, then you can't argue with MLB The Show, but Forza Horizon is definitely your open world racer.
Mm-hmm.
Track racer, that's still up in the air until we see what Gran Turismo Sport's going to bring out. But as of right now, it has to be Forza Motorsport. I don't know. Forza Motorsport's kind of just been more copy and paste here lately from 5 to 6. So I just kind of been giving up on anybody actually putting out a really good track racer.
I skipped 5, so that wasn't really that big of a disappointment to me. It's actually a pretty fun game. I like it. I just can't play a lot of it. I can only play Motorsport in like sessions. But games
just
like
imagine
Horizon though, I could sit through the whole game. No problem.
Imagine your if you want to know what 5 was like, imagine take your 6 that you enjoy and just take some of the pretty off of it, and there's 5. It's just they've added of course they added like maybe I think a few cars or whatever, but it's almost it feels like very similar to the Forza Motorsport 5. But I mean I guess with a track racer, it's kind of hard to create so many tracks, you know. I mean, you could I guess you'll eventually get to a point to where it's like, it's just gonna have to be a mirror copy.
Yeah.
No, there've been too many racing games. It's not that. No.
You can only do so much with a racing game, especially if you're on track.
You can only do so much with a first-person shooter.
Yeah, and that's the reason why everybody's like, it needs to be different. Like how? Like at this time, at 2017, I'm thinking almost everything that you could possibly do with the first-person shooter has been done. So I mean, what are you going to do different? Like, I don't understand like what you could possibly do.
Well,
but
that's why you're not in video game design.
Well, I would probably be okay with it because I mean they just keep coming out with the same shit. So I mean I'd be like, well, my thought would be like, how can we do anything different? Let's just do what we did last year. Like, okay.
Man. The only thing that I will take from Forza is Jesus Christ, the DLC. Like, there's so much.
And what?
And just DLC for Forza in general. Like, it's just.
Oh, I know.
It's like, fuck sakes.
Even if you buy the car pass,
There's
still have to
another
buy
car pass.
Yeah, it's like, come on now. I mean, like, I didn't spend all this money on the car pass just to be like screwed out of cars.
Yeah, that's why I just wait. There's one good thing that comes of it is like they do put Forza on sale a lot, so you have to kind of keep your eyes peeled for those sales to get all the DLC. That's kind of what I did. I got all the DLC for Forza Horizon 2, but I fucking waited until it was like $2. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I did the same thing with Forza Horizon 2. Like whenever I caught it on sale, I started buying like all the car passes or whatever, and then I was able to get all the cars for it. It was like really super cheap, but I was gonna buy it like up front, and then I saw kind of the model they were going after. I was like, well, you're never gonna get them all by buying a car pass. And like the people who bought the $100 version of Forza Horizon 3, still had to buy the Blizzard expansion pack. I'm like, wow, like you spent $100 on a damn game and you don't even get the first expansion pack.
All
It's
right.
like,
All right,
you should've-
guys, I want you to go to shitpost and I want you to look at this tweet.
All right, going to shitpost.
oh, Xbox, oh, his room. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Why does he have so many Xbox Ones?
I'm beginning to think that this has to be like some sort
Holy
of
shit.
like he's.
He has a
'Cause
mental
he's got-
condition.
Well, I mean, he's got Xbox Ones that like that Quantum Break one, that white one that you see just in the picture whenever you first look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Quantum Break one that they showed off that was like a special thing. I don't think he actually. To me, this seems like to me that
Maybe he's getting his friends together to fuck with everybody.
or he works for like a company that gets these special things and he can bring them home, you know, like that for. Because I don't know, just like how do you have like that would be.
That is just.
There's no way you bought that many fucking Xbox Ones. Unless you're just absolutely fucking loaded. Like you would have to be. There's one in the picture here, just looking at it without even playing, is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, he's got
8,
the
9,
stand. It's got like
11.
1, 2, 3, 4 in one case. Then there's all the box. Now some of these little things are nifty. He's got the original Xbox Halo edition.
Yeah.
Like that's nifty. That's one of the like 3 things in the room I would actually want. But holy shit.
I mean, he's got the thing from GameStop that where the Xbox One's in the case with the TV.
Yeah.
And then he's got
How
the
do you
one
get
for
your
the
hands
360.
on those? Well, I guess you can just buy them because GameStop can buy them. I guess you could just buy them too.
Well, like
I guess if you're willing to pay for them, this company will put one together for you.
well, I'm thinking that this guy works for some sort of company that where he gets this stuff at a discounted price. Because I mean, either that or like I said, he has to be financially, just completely financially loaded. Because this would cost a mint. Like, there's no way you would be able to. A normal person, a normal salary would be able to afford anything remotely like that.
Yeah.
And that's a sickness to me. I mean, I like my PlayStations or my Xboxes, but shit, that's you have on that thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 Xbox Ones just right there. You have for some reason 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elite controllers. Something seems off about this. It seems almost like he's afforded some extra things, like maybe some perks from like where he works. Maybe he's a GameStop manager, because I know they get a lot, or maybe a district manager for GameStop, because I know they get a lot of special things for being there. But
Holy shit! I'm looking through the opinion section at ICXM. First off, do they only have 2 authors? I say authors in the most technical sense of the word. Dreyer and Asher. Dreyer seems. There's a Cyan at the bottom.
Asher is I think one of the co-founders.
They're both fucking idiots. Because
Yeah.
Asher, January 9th, opinion: Microsoft was right to cancel Scalebound.
Like, yeah, because Phil said so.
Because Phil said so, therefore it is correct. God says
Yeah.
it. God says it, so it becomes moral because he says so.
Yep.
Right? Same deal.
I saw somebody like tweet out that God made man turned into Bill Gates turned into Phil Spencer created the Xbox Scorpio, so therefore Xbox Scorpio's divine intervention or something like that. Like, on you, like, fuck, like,
It's intervening in between you and being a normal human being.
yeah, I mean, you could definitely argue that for sure, but shit.
It's getting in the way. Would Xbox One gamers have bought Scalebound? I personally don't think so for a number of reasons. Because Phil said so. If you would have asked me a week ago, I might have said something different, but well.
How the fuck does he even know like what Xbox gamers would buy?
I don't know, man. He's like, I wish maybe I can tweet one of the Xbox guys I'm not banned by or blocked by and ask them to make a poll that said, would you have considered buying Scalebound? Because you can't ask, would you have bought it? You would say, would you have considered, were you interested in buying Scalebound? Let me see. What's a big Xbox channel I'm not blocked? Tim Dog. I guess, because everyone else has blocked me.
Tim Dog has. I mean,
I don't know what his
at Beast
there he
Fire
is. The
Tim
first thing
Dog.
that pops up when I put in Beast.
I sometimes just have like a issue like tweeting him because like you have to type in Beast.
I'm almost at the same amount of followers. Yeah, I'm only 50 followers behind him, and he started doing this almost 7 years ago.
Yeah, many years ago.
Let's see. We are one. Oh, see, this is the thing. His banner is "We are one." Our loyal Xbox family. That screams cult. It screams cult. Look what that's the thing. We are one, a loyal Xbox family. Look what happened to Iron Wolf. This is the kind of family that you don't leave. It's like it's mafia. It's a mafia family.
You better not leave.
You better not leave. You can't.
You can't come back home.
You can't come back. No, you better not leave. No, no, no. Looks like he's blocking Sierra Ira or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
It says here, Microsoft. It says, will Microsoft show Scorpio before E3? And then Xbox boss Phil Spencer says he's unsure. I wonder if he's unsure. Like, what's going to happen if Scorpio doesn't show up to E3?
What? What if Scorpio doesn't show up at E3?
Yeah.
There's going to be blood in the streets. Buildings will be razed and burned to the ground.
Where they'll be like, well, it
There will
was
be.
right
I mean,
for Microsoft not to bring.
They're going to storm the Bastille, man. It's going to be. Oh, it's going to be bad.
That's what we think. But you know what's going to happen? They'll be like the tweets going, "Oh, Microsoft was like perfectly right not bringing Scorpio. We don't want to. They didn't want to scare the competition up front like that. That's such a big stage." I agree with him. Scorpio needs to be like talked about very quietly. Have a silent release.
This guy saying, "What made you want to become a YouTuber?" And it's like, I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know. That's a interesting question. I don't know. I don't even consider it's weird. It's just a hobby for me. At the moment, at least. I'm in talks with people to get some things done so I could start monetizing, because at this point I'd be a fool to not start taking monetary advantage of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're
yeah. I mean,
definitely help. At least it would help you with
making about $960 a month, and he's only got 35,000 subs. So I mean, man,
Right.
yeah. I mean, at the very least, I mean, it could help you with like just doing your upgrades when on your PC or whatever you want to do. You know, I mean, just where you could just get it done quicker.
Yeah. What I'd like to do though is get I would like to go part-time instead of full-time at my job. That'd be cool.
This would definitely help you.
Oh yeah. If I could get that kind, yeah, absolutely. The weird thing is, like, I don't know if we're stuff talking about like Patreon exclusive stuff like that. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. It's like I hate the idea of people having to pay access to get to me. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Well, I mean, there's not really much you can offer either. I mean, if you think about it, they got access to you through the Discord. They have access to you through your channel. They have access to almost any means necessary to contact you on. I mean, you're not exactly a recluse when it comes to being a bigger YouTuber. You're somebody that's actually quite open for, well, any sort of dialogue to branch out with other people. So, hey, I mean, if anything, you just throw a Patreon up just to see if anybody would buy into it. And I guess deep down, you could ask them later down the line, why did you give me money? If anything. Maybe giveaways. Yeah, maybe giveaways. There you go. You do giveaways. You don't do giveaways. They buy into something and.
Hey, you guys.
Xbox Live and PS Plus is like this, right? I mean.
Titanfall co-op. You guys finished that?
No, not yet. But we're going to. We're gonna do the Titanfall stuff, and we're gonna do our review.
Because it's only about a 4-hour long game or so. It's really, really good, but it is short. Shame.
Yeah.
Hell of a good 4 hours though, but it is short. Such a shame.
Righteous. Did you guys heroes die in a ditch and get buried by Jimmy Hoffa? What?
You're talking about the Xbox community? How? Like what?
Something about Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh, I kind of figured that was just Xbox community. I thought we were like talking. That was like code for.
Oh,
like,
did
crap
YouTube
name or
heroes
something.
YouTube heroes die in a ditch? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't play video games. I play Xbox. Okay.
I think YouTube heroes is still there, just not something that's talked about.
well, you know what's funny?
Because
is
Because
a
it
lot of-
hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like-
think that what's his name, PewDiePie still makes fun of it every once in a while. So I mean, I think it's still there. I just don't.
So far, like the most usefulness that's coming out of YouTube heroes is people are getting subtitles put into their videos by their subs, and it's actually helping a lot of people. So
And here's the thing, people, of course, everyone's damage. Every one of the Xbox guys is damage controlling Scalebound getting canceled. The biggest, I want to say that even the biggest deal of that isn't necessarily that the game was canceled, but they tried to spin it as being good for you.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to know how it's good for anybody.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's good for them or whatever, but I mean, how's it good for any of us on this end?
Why are we questioning? Don't you know these people obviously know what's good for us, Rambo? Jeez.
Well, yeah, I forgot. I mean, we're. I should have been more subservient. I'm sorry. Should never ask questions. Just accept.
I'm glad. I'm glad we've been over this. I don't want to bap you on the nose or anything. You know. I mean.
I have to deal with this
That
again. Yeah, I
hurt.
don't want. Jeez, like the amount of shit people will just accept. I'm like, I'd almost be like, it's almost better like if these people pay for online services, like what you said, like just pay for anything rather than just accept anything. Like something that's clear and like, just like what the fuck, and like they're like, oh, it was good for you. Oh, okay, okay, all right, sorry, momentary lapse. I thought it was bad. Wasn't sure, but I'm glad you put me at rest there.
I'm glad. Yeah, right. It's like I'm glad we got that straightened out.
Like, even though I just bought the Scalebound thing, my whole room's decorated, but like I wasn't even looking forward to that game anyway, man. Fuck that game. Fucking Japanese
that
games.
Fucking Asians making games.
Yeah, I
that
gotta
people like.
redecorate my. I'll redecorate my room. No big deal. We'll like, what's the next? We'll put Crackdown up. Yeah, I love Crackdown.
Crackdown
Like,
that'll
come
never
on.
get released, right?
Yeah, I'm like, it's like what? That's just insane. Like that they just
soon as
accept it and
Crackdown
move on.
releases, the fucking power of the cloud dies.
Oh yeah, that the power of the cloud. Because that's being used so much. I'm beginning to wonder if like the reason why Crackdown 3 didn't get released is because they're like that whole destructible multiplayer is not going to really happen.
Man.
What the fuck is his name in here? Super duper mega potato face. Good lord. Like his name takes up most of the characters to be able to type.
Rambo's Corner, just watch the TV. We tell you to like music. We tell you to play it. What? To and
Oh
play
my
the
god,
game.
look at how they're spinning this. Oh my god, look at how they're fucking spinning this. Okay, so remember Phil Spencer's tweet was about the cancellation of Scalebound. His tweet was difficult decision. We believe result is better for Xbox gamers. Still disappointing. I'm confident in 17 lineup. That's our focus. Okay. Someone circled result is better for Xbox gamers. And one of these people, one of these Xbox fanboys said, this is the statement I'm most excited about. The funding will go towards something better.
What?
Let me link you a tweet and you can do with it what you will. Right
If
there.
I'm not blocked by the person.
I'm not shitting you, man. Like that's like I'm serious. That's how their attitude is.
Oh, this is the. Oh wow.
Unseen DX.
I know I've never even seen this guy before, so that's actually good. I'm not
Oh, sweet. His bio says the Lord Jesus Christ is the way, truth, and life, and the only way to our Father in heaven. Awesome. So we know he's got a square head on his shoulders.
wow. Like
Like holy shit.
How like their funding's not going anywhere? Like the funding's gone.
Yeah,
What the-
I don't think they understand how this works. You pay developers to develop, you cancel
Yeah.
game that causes more
Like,
depth.
the money's gone.
Like yeah, that costs more cost to cancel it than it does to keep.
Yeah, it's gone because now you can't get anything back. Like
Yeah.
you are paying constantly. You're constantly paying. You're paying. That money is the money between the theoretical when they ended it and when it would come out.
Somebody eats a lot of potatoes in their diet.
Holy shit.
Oh, and ICXN wrote an article. Phil Spencer says transparency important for Xbox One plans in good times and bad, but yet there's not been a fucking bit of transparency.
No reason why was Scalebound canceled. Can you link me to that tweet?
Yeah, let me hold that up a second.
We got some taters up in here.
I would have much more respect for you if you just said we'll be open when we can, but there are just some secrets that we can't give out as a company because we're a company. We have to protect information and
That's obvious. I mean, I'd be okay with that, but like ICXM has like been busy with since that scale, but like there's like more articles written than I think I've ever seen from them. Like shit, we got to get this focus out there, get it switched.
now is that?
Wait a minute. So, okay, Tim Dog's tweet was thanks for being honest and taking the Twitter to answer concerns, questions, and all the stuff. I know the last few days are not easy. And Phil Spencer replies, easy to be public when things are great. It's important to me to also be public when things aren't great. No thanks needed. And then here's Tim Dog's reply. Yeah, well, that's why Xbox is unique. You guys do listen to fans, and this communication is good and productive. How the
fuck are they listening to fans? They're
Like-
canceling games.
Oh
They
my
haven't even
God.
said why. They haven't even said why. They just we just thought about it and we've determined it's the best thing to do. Well, that's not transparency. That's
what,
not
like,
oh my God.
how is that being
Wait, a cup
like
of coffee.
communication with your like how's that you're giving me what I want? Like yeah, I should just start like with PlayStation going, can you please just cancel all your first party games like for the rest of this year? Fuck it. I just don't want to deal with them. And like thank you so much for listening to me. Like that was great. That was great. Like come on, like how is that listening to anybody? Like I've never seen a tweet go around from anybody, any of these Xbox guys or anybody saying, I wish they would cancel Scalebound.
It's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous, just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, we definitely went on with.
I just don't understand why these guys think it's okay. Like it's what it doesn't make sense. To praise a company for doing bad, you should bap them on the nose. If they pee on the carpet, you rub their nose into the carpet. Tell them not to do it again. But Microsoft can continuously fuck up, and these guys are like, good job, guys! Woo! Go Team Green! Like, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, really?
I mean, it's definitely one thing to be a fan. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's great. But to be like this, to where you're just so
Like they could shit on your chest and kick your dog, and you'd find some great reason for it. I mean, there's nothing they can do.
And
Like
if
they
they
cannot
said-
do anything bad.
And they said, well, your chest looked like a good place to shit, and your dog deserved to get kicked. You'd be like,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
probably
you're-
did, and I did. I was asking for it, wasn't
you
I?
are right. I should have thought. I should have known better. You know.
Now that you said it, now that you said it.
it's just fucking insane. Like even if you weren't looking forward to the game, or it wasn't your game, or wasn't one you're going to buy, like this, like if they'll do it to this person's game, what makes you think they're not going to do it to your game that you want next? Just these people. It's so irritating.
I think it's funny that you know, we literally, like, this is why I said the Civil War is happening, dude. It's fun to watch, to see like these people finally like separate themselves after all this time. I mean, how many times have you seen them do videos sucking each other's dicks off in almost every video that they make, right? Now they're kind of like calling each other out for shit, and I'm like, oh well, about time. Too bad it's taken you to realize that this person makes you look like a complete moron to do it. But hey, at least you got there. At least you got
It's like-
there. You didn't go full retard. I mean, you were borderline
For many years.
for many
But
years.
yeah.
You're sucking this guy's dick.
Now all of a sudden, like what? Why all of a sudden now? Like, do you have to stand up to like y'all been a yes man for all your life? Like,
I need to go to bed. It's late.
yeah,
It's
I'm
late.
sorry. It's 4 o'clock. Well, shit, I don't even know it's worth me going to bed because I just got to get up at 2 hours. So
Womp, womp, wow. All right. Well, I would say Shanner, but looks like I think he said he was going to get coffee. So thank you everybody for stopping on by. Rambo, by the way, loves to be fucked by Sony.
yeah, apparently, yeah. I mean, because they tell me that I like it, so I like it. I do not question Yoshida.